We're going to get started here in just a moment. And when we do, I have some super interesting stuff that I want to talk about this morning to get us started. I want to talk about this actual targeted approach by the Trump administration to pin the Democrats as communists. It's something that's super interesting, and also something that's not even true, right? But it's super interesting how they're specifically going on this attack. And I think this is in parallel with the fact that, people who identify as communists and actually do all the commie stuff, as I would say, very much oppose the political system in the sense of electoral politics, right? And I think that's going to be something that the right, the Republicans, try to weaponize. I think the Republicans don't offer anything at all, right? Except they know how to propagandize. They know how to, in full force, create something that's not actually there. And that's something that the Democratic Party is very, very bad at. And at the same time, seems to lack the ability to at least bring in under the umbrella people that could actually fight back when it comes to this online echo chamber, the misinformation and disinformation that is being spread by the Republican Party. It's just a whole thing. It's super interesting that, this is a big deal, but we're going to talk about that this morning. But guys, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Also, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the little heart post, the little pink heart post. Please, please, please. Can we knock out the little pink heart posts? And last but not least, can we go ahead and get the likes up to 10,000 likes and share the live to your story and to your FYP. I know a lot of people like to share it with a bunch of people. That's not necessary. It doesn't really help. But what does help is sharing the sharing the live to your stories and also to your FYPs. Because if someone who's scrolling through your stories, they'll be able to see the actual live, right? And then if your FYP gets pushed out and somebody gets to see your FYP with you reposting it, then I end up on your FYP, and then there's more people that come in and we can get these debates going. So if you can do that, that would be super, super helpful. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing in this morning? Hey, Too Many Thoughts, how are you? Sophie, how are you? How are you? Joker, T-Phil. Who do we have over on Twitch? One Mighty Pen. I see you. I see you. How are you? Shy Guy, you said you're having issues this morning. What type of issues? What are we doing? What's going on? How's it going? Cool Cat, you're tired? Ugh. I understand. Miss Bella Sella, hello. Who else? Heidi, good morning. Zay, good morning. Jim W4771, good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just a moment. Keep tapping the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. We're almost done with the love you so much. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal so it can actually push us out to the FYP. And we're going to get some debates going in just a moment. But I need you guys doing all the wonderful things if you don't mind. That being said, we're going to go ahead and get this thing started, right? Let's go.
Yeah, funny how it changed now. Same people that laughed at clips, studying the clips now. Everybody got opinions till the facts land. Everybody loud till they gotta take a stand. Every stream feel like somebody betting they pride. I seen fake scholars fold in real time. Now they screenshot takes, run around and remix it, and pull up thinking somehow they can fix it. Nah, you stepped in the wrong room, donut. This ain't rage bait, this pressure. Patriarchy, race, class, labor, healthcare. I don't do surface level, I build layers. And every time they think they got me cornered, numbers go higher. Chat, flyer, mods, working, crowd waiting. Somebody finna get cooked tonight. Welcome to the ring now. Yeah. Talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down. Go. Welcome to the ring now. Yeah. Got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Yeah. Welcome to the ring now. You ain't built for this smoke. Y'all slap nuts ain't got milk for these old donuts. So pipe down. Yeah. You might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. I don't debate for applause, I debate for the record. Every false claim get dissected and severed. You rehearse outrage, I study the structure. Difference between noise and somebody with substance. You quote tweets, I quote policy. You want moments, I want honesty. You want ego boosts and virality. I want mutual aid and stronger communities. That's the difference between you and me. See the problem? Different type timing. You came for clips, I came for alignment. Capital this, socialism that. Half these dudes can't define what they yelling in caps. Talking about free market while wages collapse. I watch your pivot arrive, I make it visible live. But this ain't never gonna be a place where evidence dies. You came all the way to be Santana for internet rap, while the whole chat waiting to see who got checked. Next, welcome to the ring now. Yeah, talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down. Welcome to the ring now. Yeah, got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Yeah, welcome to the ring now. You ain't built for this smoke. Y'all slap nuts ain't got milk for these old donuts. So pipe down. Pipe down. You might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. Yeah. Welcome to Sparring with Santana. Bring your sources or bring excuses, whatever. Doesn't really matter either way. You're about to get cooked. You should know who I am by now. What?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Also, if we can continue to knock out the daily gift goal, which are the love you so much, that will help boost the live as well. So please, please, please do all the wonderful things. If you're over on YouTube, do me a favor. Hey, hit that thumbs up. We should have as many thumbs up as we have people watching. That'll help boost the VOD and get it out to more people. So please, 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 if you look up at the top of the screen and where you see my name, and you actually click right below it, it'll give you the option to go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Over on TikTok, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 25,000 likes. And can we knock out the love you so much, please? If we can knock out the gift goal, I'll keep resetting it, and it'll push us out to the FYP even more. Last but not least, if you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. Just like Gene. Gene has kicked us off the right way by sending a $10 donation and saying, dipsit. What up, Gene? Good morning. W's in the chat for Gene. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. Also, W's in the chat for Manders, who sent one cheer bit. Guys, can we get some good vibes sent out to Manders' husband? Apparently, he has an interview coming up here just in a few, and we just want to send some positive vibes. So let's send some love to Manders and their hubbies or hubs, and for the interview. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that. If you're over on YouTube and you'd like to support the live, you can do so by sending a super chat, and I will read that out. Just really quickly to go over this. America, we have become the joke of the world. We are literally the laughing stock of the world, and that's because of the one, the only Donald Jimothy Trump. No. It would be super easy just to say that, oh, you know, the reason why the United States of America is a joke is just because of Trump. While I will admit that he is absolutely a huge factor and why the United States of America is an absolute joke now on the global stage. He's not the only factor. We have to take a look at the premise that capitalism is just a failure and socialism is better. Point blank, period. There's no argument with that. I think even the staunchest conservatives would admit that socialism is better, period. Next, we absolutely have to talk about the fact that Republicans, Democrats, you guys are in trouble because democratic socialists are up. Democratic socialists are absolutely up. And everyone is fearing them because people on the left and right are fleeing towards Dem socks. Super interesting. Super interesting. You can't run from it. Next, we have to talk about how white people, you guys have been embracing white supremacy. Which I guess, to be fair, I shouldn't say have been. I mean, like, that's something that is, overall a thing. It's overall a thing. For the weirdo in the comment section, I'm not your brother. I don't care what you have to say. Go get your main account, and then you can come back and we can actually talk about it. So numbers 1827, go get your main account. I don't care about your troll account. But white people have embraced white supremacy, and it's on full display. Like we literally have to talk about that. Next, we got to reduce the United States global power. It looks like Donald Trump is taking the opposite position. I don't know if you guys have been listening to what's going on, but we are back in a full-blown conflict with Iran. And not only are we back in a full-blown conflict with Iran, because we engaged in strikes yesterday, he is alienating our allies across the board. Period. Point blank, period. Last but not least, Christians, my brothers and sisters in Christ, we got to talk about your weaponization of the Bible. And we got to talk about your weaponization of the Bible. Josie, you said, kidding. Who kidding what? About what? Joker, please stop spamming the same question over and over. People have already actually responded to you in the comment section. Please stop spamming the same question over and over and over. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Christians, we have to talk about your weaponization of Christianity. Christianity has been one of the most harmful things that we have ever experienced through the history of the world, not just America, not just, current times, but the history of the entire world. It's a thing. It's absolutely a thing. So we are looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. How do you battle someone who doesn't believe sentience gives a fetus moral value? I don't know. But regardless, I will say this, for any of the people in the comment sections that may disagree with anything that I'm saying, I want to be respectful when I say this. I don't care about what you're saying from the comment sections. If there's any pushback on anything that I'm saying and you're hiding in the comment section, then I don't care. We will be muting you, because if you can't say it with your chest, then you can't say it at all. No thumb thugs, no keyboard warriors. I don't care what you have to say in the comment section. Either you get up here and we have a conversation about it where I will give you an opportunity to speak. Also, we're going to act like adults. And so if you come up here and like you are just wanting to do like the weirdo crash out stuff, you got the wrong live. You can just go somewhere else. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with it. But if you disagree with anything on the background, go ahead and get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates.
Yo.
Hi, Matt Comfy. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I disagree with everything. I don't know how you could be so wrong on so many things.
Okay, that's an interesting statement, but we can definitely talk about that. But before we go too far, Matt Comfy, quick question for you. Do you know who I am?
I think I saw a clip of you on the Jubilee, on a recent Jubilee episode.
Okay, dope. All right, well, Matt,
what you talked about.
Okay, no worries. Listen, Matt Comfy, would it be all right if I give you and everyone else a quick introduction to not only who I am, but what this is?
Sure.
Perfect. Give me 1 second here. Guys, Exa.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates, but if you're friendly, guess what? I still need you. Please do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live, push us out to the FYP. Also, I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to the little 1 cent gift goals. Right now, it's the chili peppers. If we can knock those out, that'll boost the live as well. Last but not least, if you want to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. We have Mad Comfy here, and Mad Comfy, you said you are a Trump supporter and you disagree with everything on the background. The floor is yours. What would you like to do? Would you like to start by, would you like to tell me why you today, July the 8th, 2026, you still support Donald Timothy Trump, or did you want to pick a point on the background where you'd like to start?
Yeah, I can start with why I support Trump. I guess I broadly support Trump on like immigration, foreign policy, and tax cuts and all that. But we could talk about I'm curious what your argument is about the capitalism doesn't compare to socialism. Okay. All right, let me see here. I'm taking notes. I just want to make sure I have this. Immigration, foreign. It doesn't compare in that, insofar as capitalism is a far superior economic system. I don't think socialism has anything going for it. Okay. Okay. You said capitalism. I'm gonna move this. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I have these notes, but I moved stuff, so give me a second. Take your time.
Okay, perfect. So the things that I have is that you support Donald Trump today because of his immigration policy, foreign policies, and tax cuts. And as far as the current topic, you're saying that capitalism is far more superior than socialism. Anything else that you want to add to any of this before I get going?
No, we can have a conversation. Okay,
perfect. So I'll hold those other things on the back burners as far as why you support him, because it seems like you want to get into the whole capitalism versus socialism thing. So I will lay out my reasoning as far as why socialism is preferable and more superior than capitalism. And then I'll have a quick question for you and give you the floor. So first and foremost, capitalism has failed us because of the massive wealth gaps that we see within the United States of America. We're the richest country on earth, but yet we have the largest wealth discrepancy. You see the poverty level is increasing. The United States of America is the only G7 country that has a current negative trending of the dang it, what's the wording? Not the happiness. Give me 1 second. A quality of life. That's the one I was looking for. It's the only G7 country that has the a negative trend of quality of life for their citizens. We just live in a country where we should be able to enjoy more of the fruits of our labors, but we see people who are unable to even make ends meet. And so with the premise of socialism, I am someone that believes that, unless there's revolution, we can look at steps as far as changes. So my premise would be, first and foremost, shifting towards a democratic socialist perspective where we increase social safety nets and we ensure that people have different equitable means of living. And then after that, we shift to a true socialist / communist society, which those two things run parallel. But those are in my ideas, and I do want to set this on the table and let you know I am not a communist, but I do think that communism as a whole is the most preferable society for all of us. So with that being said, I'll give you the floor, and I would love to start at capitalism and why you think capitalism is actually superior and how it's working for everyday Americans.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about the differences between socialism and capitalism, it's just a difference in ownership. Like, it's just a philosophy of ownership. In a capitalist society, we obviously believe in private property. And, you know, the industry should be privatized, and the private sector is the most productive sector in terms of actually building wealth for people and creating goods and services for people, including housing or living, like you said, because we have a cost of living issue. I actually agree with you that
I guess, wait 1 second, just to verify. Do you think that capitalism at this moment has been beneficial for everyday Americans? Keeping socialism out of it at the moment, just focusing on capitalism, do you think that's been beneficial for everyday Americans?
1,000%. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've gone. Well, because look at the trajectory of the US. If you look at the purchasing power of a country like the US compared to many other countries, you said that we're the country you said you had several claims that I think are just incorrect. Okay. So first of all, the wealth gap claim, the socialist countries, specifically communist China, for example, has a much larger wealth gap than a place like the US. So yeah, there might be wealth discrepancies in the US. There's always going to be wealth discrepancies. Wealth discrepancies are just a byproduct of human freedom, because even if you don't have freedom, you're still going to end up with large discrepancies in the socialist countries, where essentially 1% or 2 or maybe up to 10% of the population owns everything. And then the rest of the population is living in absolute poverty, like you see in places like Venezuela. Mm-hmm. So to say that the US has a larger wealth discrepancy than a socialist country, that's just absolutely false.
Okay.
The only way your argument holds up is like when you look at very small countries like the Nordic countries. But even the Nordic countries, we have a more progressive system than the Nordic countries. So your argument still doesn't hold up there, because you're just comparing to countries that are like 5 to 10 million people, which is like less than the size of LA County. When you actually look at purchasing power parity of places in the US, the purchasing power where, you know, places that it's completely unaffordable for people, it's actually the most progressive left-wing, quote unquote, socialist policies that have been enabled that actually have caused that cost of living issue for people. That's why people are leaving places like New York and California and, you know, Illinois for places like Florida and Texas and Tennessee. So again, it's people. When you actually look at people voting with their feet and where they're going to the more, you know, less taxation, free market, less business regulation, more housing supply areas, which tend to be heavily correlated with right-wing capitalist policies. So, yeah, I just think that all your claims are incorrect.
Okay. Well, just FYI, the only claim that you've actually addressed is the wealth claim. I mean, and then you said a lot of stuff to actually.
I address cost of living. You said that there's a cost of living issue in the U.S.
You agree with that, though?
I disagree. I agreed with it in left-wing, you know, major left-wing areas. Yeah, there's a huge.
Yeah, you said you agree, and then you said that's why people are fleeing to red states and all this other stuff. Yeah,
because it's more affordable. Yeah,
right. But you agree with the premise, and then said, "Well, this is how people are dealing with it." But we can. I mean, I'm going to talk about that as well. But
I'm saying because of the left policies.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure that you understand that, like you did agree, and then you said this is how they're coping with it, and we're going to talk about that. But that wasn't a disagreement with the actual premise that I stated, that there's a cost of living issue. You just said it's a cost of living issue, but it's centralized in blue areas, and people are fleeing to red areas to actually offset it.
Correct.
Okay. So
anywho,
let's address the wealth gap claim. And so I might have been speaking too fast. and actually said with the wealth gap that we have the highest. What I meant to say is we have the highest of any first nation, right? Meaning like large modern countries that have massive GDPs, economic development, and blah, 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 blah. The United States of America, so the highest wealth gap total is, I think this country's, the way you say it is Bernia. I'm sorry. It's BRUNEI. But the United States of America, and so that one's at 89.7%. That's the actual discrepancy. And this comes from the World Population Review. It takes a look at all the countries and it factors in the GINI wealth coefficient, which is the credit SUSIs over the UBS, and then it takes a look at like wealth distribution between 0 to 100,000 and then also above 100,000. And so while the leading country is a country that is, I'm pretty sure this is, where's this at? I think this is somewhere in Africa. Regardless.
It's in Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, okay.
But
that's interesting.
Can I just point out a massive issue?
Sure.
You're comparing a population of 400,000 people to a country of 350 million people.
Right. What did I say about that?
Well, because what do you mean? What did you say? You're saying that.
Yeah, I said as far as the claim, I said I might have been speaking fast. So let me clarify that. When I said the wealth gap, I'm talking about the United States of America has the largest wealth gap of any nation that's considered first world nations, meaning that it has a higher population, higher GDP, blah, 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 blah. I haven't even started talking about the United States yet. I was just setting the record straight and letting you know where the number one overall is. And the number one overall is at 89.7%. Now, if you take a look at the United States of America, the wealth gap for the United States of America is actually at 85%, right? And so that is the highest for first nation countries. We sit above a lot of different countries. Let's say, just for example, India is at 82.3%. We have, let's see, Norway is at 79.4%. Germany is at 78.8%. To keep moving, Switzerland is at 77.2%. So the point that I'm making is while the United States of America is one that is abundant in resources as far as like capital, right? I mean, our GDP is the largest in the world. Our military is the largest in the world. But again, as far as First Nations, we have massive discrepancies at 85%.
I don't think this is a problem. I think you guys want to make it a problem to try and install some socialists in government, but this is not. Really
so calling out the fact that the United States of America has the largest wealth gap of any first nation is not a problem.
I don't think gaps are really relevant at the end. So, for example, I'll give you my reasoning. When we look at the gaps, you might say like, oh, Mexico, would you consider Mexico one of these first countries?
First nation, no. Mexico is not a first nation.
What about Canada?
Yes, Canada is a first nation.
Okay, so you're just going with the G7 then? Like Germany? Okay, so
there's different qualifications that make countries first nations. But what point are you trying to make? Can you be direct with the point?
What I'm trying to make is that there's a difference between wealth disparity and actual qualitative metrics. So, for example, in the U.S., people in poverty in the U.S., for example, their houses tend to be about the same size, if not slightly larger, than middle-class individuals in Europe. They tend to have a smartphone. They tend to have access to free education and
who has access to free education?
People in poverty in the U.S.
That's not true.
Qualitative. It is.
Are you referring to like elementary? I mean, K through 12. Is that what you're referring to?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to be clear. Yeah. I mean, yes, as of right now, technically, but they're shifting towards school of choice where that's being funded at a higher level now. But anyway, go ahead.
My point is that the disparity in income or the wealth gap, quote unquote, differences between the U.S. and some others of these countries it's not really like a full picture, because we have a lot of qualitative, higher qualitative living kind of quality of life things that these other countries don't. So I don't know. I just think it's a little bit disingenuous.
Yeah. I hear you. So just FYI, there are 360 different nations that are considered First Nations, right? Let's talk about
360?
300. Well, I'm sorry, more than that. I apologize. 630. 630.
Countries?
Yeah. Says here there's
630 countries, bro.
630 different First Nation communities. Holy shit. No, I'm not looking for communities. I meant first. Oh, this brought up the wrong one. Sorry. No, I'm tripping. That's me. 1 second. It actually brought up communities, and I don't want that. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. So the First Nations are made up of the North America, Western and Northern European, which is Australia, New Zealand, and UK, France, Germany, Switzerland, and Japan. Those are the ones that are listed at the top. And so there's a multitude of additional ones, which include like Iceland, Switzerland, Norway, Denmark, right? So if we want to take a look at the United States and the things that you actually you spoke to, like, I think it would be fair for us to compare the United States to not only countries that are considered like First Nations, but are proportional in size. Now, I know not every country is proportional when it comes to population, but somewhat similar. So
sure.
But how about we just compare it to Canada? Is that fair?
Sure.
Or is there a country that you would have in mind?
Yeah. You can compare any countries that have essentially adopted your more left-wing philosophy of, what I call post-growth philosophy, where it's like socialist light, like the UK. Do you think it's positive for the UK to be behind Mississippi in terms of GDP per capita now?
No, I don't care. I don't care about the UK. That has nothing to do with me here.
But they've adopted a lot of the policies that you advocate for.
They haven't, but I don't care. Like, literally, I don't care what the UK does. Do you care what the UK does?
Let's go to, well, if you care about Canada, sure. Let's go.
I don't care about Canada either. I'm just saying that, like, that we're trying to use that as an right. But based off of the actual premise that you were just talking about, with the things that you would say like are comparable, like the things that you said was like how our poverty lives, house size and phone and education, things like that.
Okay, sure.
All right. 1 second here. Yeah, the only other country that would be close to the U.S. population in proximity would be Indonesia at almost 288 million. Let's see, is Indonesia listed as a? Yeah, it is. Okay, Indonesia is listed as an actual First Nation, right? So we can look at Indonesia and we can look at Canada, but looking at the wealth disparities for, let's start with Canada. We've already said that the US is at 85%, 2.6%, right? Indonesia is at 78.2%. So if we just look at like Canada, which is our neighbors to the north, who have similar access to everything as us, as far as like, housing, electronics, advancements, they still rank lower as far as wealth disparities. If you look at Indonesia, they are proportionate to us as far as population, and they are a first nation, and they rank lower as well as far as, the wealth gap. So the premise that you have as far as saying like, oh, the issue is that, poverty, or the people that are in poverty here within the United States are privileged because they have all these things. That's literally just not true. While you're saying that there's no actual issue, I mean, like just looking at things by the number without even going deeper, which, I mean, we're just surface level at this moment. On its face, you're just wrong.
No, I don't think I am, because it's interesting you brought up Canada and you're talking about housing and affordability. I'm pretty sure the housing cost relative to income in Canada is way worse than the US, like way worse. It's like worse than our worst areas.
What do you mean way worse? What are you referring to?
I mean, so like the percentage of how much housing costs compared to your household income is Canada's one of the more extreme examples, if I remember correctly, in terms of housing costs. Yeah, here it is. So Canada's average home.
What's your what source are you looking at?
We're going to look at, what is this? There's two sources. There's the National Bank housing affordability. It's nbc.ca.
National Bank housing farm. NBCA. Wait, say it one more time. Sorry. nbca.ca. It's a PDF. Let me just Google it so you can search it up. No, it's for National Bank. What is it just called? I can look it up for now. All good.
It's called U.S. versus Canada housing costs.
No. What's the actual source as far as like the National Bank? You said it was a National Bank what?
nbc.ca.
Right, National Bank what?
National Bank housing affordability.
Housing affordability. All right, so I found it. Housing affordability monitor Q1 2026. Is that what we're looking at?
Yes, you can look at you can pull up this article. It's Zoo Casa has a recently published article in June 2025. Mm-hmm. If you type in ZOOKA or CASA, that's referencing the National Bank housing affordability.
Yeah. Give me a second here because this is interesting. One moment, sorry. Yeah. So I'm looking at the original source that you gave, and the actual PDF for the housing affordability monitor, which this is the National Bank of Canada, right? And so this actually gives the perspective as far as how Canada, the overall affordability for homes is actually improving. Let's see where, because it takes a look at home price inflation. Okay, so the United States of America, and this is year over year, right? This is the source that you just pulled up. The United States of America, the actual inflation rate for homes has increased year over year by 1.8%, while the actual inflation rate for homes in Canada has decreased by 4%. So that's interesting.
Yeah, but it still sits at about the U.S. median home is 5 times median household income, whereas Canada's 8 times.
Mm-hmm. Give me a second here.
And there's some that are way more extreme, like in Vancouver and Toronto, it's up to 10 to 12 times income.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think that because if you take a look at the actual like cities within the U.S., that's the huge discrepancy within the U.S. If you look at places like in New York, in L.A., dense population cities, things like that. Well,
Canada's still worse. That's what I'm saying. Like the most
by
expensive.
what? I'm sorry. What quantitative measure? Because I'm looking at it and it's not.
So they do a comparison on the city extremes. I think this is here. One sec. They compare, where is it? San Jose, Toronto, Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
And let me actually pull it up for you, because this report only goes through different sections of Canada only. It doesn't do the comparison to the US. There's a different one that does a comparison to the US. So let me just grab it.
Yeah, because even when I'm looking at where does this fall? Where's the full list? I want to see the full list. Oh, here it is. Okay, perfect. Why doesn't this have the United States on here? This is interesting. Has the United Kingdom.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna pull up the other one.
Let's see. Give me a second here. It has Canada. Let's look at Americas. This is interesting. So this doesn't have why don't they have the United States listed here? I got Cuba, El Salvador, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Chile, Brazil, Venezuela, Peru, Panama, Guatemala, Paraguay, Argentina, Mexico, Bolivia, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Canada. That's interesting. Why isn't the US listed in this? Let's go A to Z. Is the United States not considered? I don't know why it's not showing that. That's fine. Let's go, because I wanted to use this. They did listed the methodology and everything there. But as far as the World Population Review, which did the study, breaking down like the wealth gap and the discrepancies and things like that, they also did a complete review as far as housing affordability by country. And they took a look at the countries with the highest price to income ratios. Let's see, Syria is at the top. And let's see, Canada. Canada is the housing price to income ratio for 2025 is 10.2%. Mortgage as of a percent income in 2025 is 92.1%, and the housing affordability index is 1.1. Right. When we look at the United States is housing price to income ratio 2025 3.3. Mortgage as of percent income in 2025 is 30.1. And housing affordability index is 3.3, right? And so,
so what is the index referring to? Is that higher, better, or?
What it actually breaks down to? Let's see here. Canada is above the United States as far as affordability when it kind of takes a look at the actual ratio income. I wish it had the numbers beside what it is without me having to count this. I'll just show you really quickly, because I'm not going to count it up and see where it is specifically. When we pop this on the screen so you can actually see it. All right, so Syria is number one. This is the breakdown for the affordability for Syria. If you go down, there's Canada, right? Canada 10.2, 92.1% as far as the mortgage as a percent of the income, And then also the affordability is 1.1. If you keep going down, then the United States of America is ranked lower, 3.3, 30.1% at 3.3 housing affordability index. So point being, even if you take a look at the actual metrics that make housing more affordable, and you do the breakdown per capita, you cross-reference that with the actual income of American citizens, it's less affordable to get a home in the US than it is in Canada. And this is as of 2025. Of course, they published this in 2026. This is the World Population Review, Affordable Housing by Country 2026.
I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to say thank you to a couple of people while you do that. And then, I'll give you the floor. Let's see here. W's in the chat, guys. W's in the chat for Aaron for the $1 donation. Yeah, he does sound like Timu Elon. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation. Yeah, like it is very much entitlement, Jared. I mean, it's weird. I don't understand it, but I guess that's where we are. I guess people are just speaking from a position of like superiority, and everybody else can kind of go fuck themselves, but whatever. Debbie's in the chat for Caroline for the $10 donation. Question, will there be a late night? Yes, we are. We'll be back with late nights starting next week. I'll tell you guys more about it at the end of the live for sure. Debbie's in the chat for Caroline as well for the $10 donation, saying, talking into the BS said it sounds like it passes truth, has no clue what he's talking about. We're not socialists. We're a social democrat. There's very important difference. Yeah, like Caroline, thank you so much for the additional $10 donation. That's the thing that I've been trying to like pump out, is there's a discrepancy between like democratic socialists or, governments that uplift social safety nets, things like that, versus true socialism and communism. But a lot of people don't understand that. Debbie's in chat for Lindsay for the $33.33. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Lindsay. And Lindsay just sent the blue heart. You're fucking awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. W's in the chat, guys, for Lindsay for the $33.33. W's in the chat for Anthony for the $1. Yeah, like homes are fucking unaffordable as a whole. W's in the chat, Anthony. Thank you so much for the $1 donation. W's in the chat as well. Let me make sure we are good here.
Wait, Santana.
1 second. W's in the chat for Manders for the $1 chair bit. It's pronounced Baruni. Got it. W's in the chat for Manders. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter, disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Knock out the daily gift goal. It's the finger hearts. Please knock out the finger hearts. And last but not least, W's in the chat for J Hops for the 5. You said Canada is at 11% below the poverty line, and the US is at 10.6. What's the point the guest is trying to make? I don't know. Like we got bogged down with the overall like minutia of all of it. But I like the overarching point that I was trying to get to was that when you look at the United States compared to other First Nations, we actually have massive wealth gaps. And he said that it doesn't really matter because even with wealth gaps, the people who are in poverty within the US still have things that other countries don't have. That's why we went down this entire rabbit hole. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I want to reference the chart you just showed on the on the live. I don't know if you can pull it up again.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. What you got?
Yeah, you have the housing price to income ratio. The US is at 3.3. It's literally, it's one of the most affordable in terms of housing. It's one of the most affordable countries in this list. Canada's a ratio of 10.1.
Yeah.
Meaning,
but that's not the only factor.
No, I understand.
I said that. And I mean, like I showed the actual housing price to income ratio. I talked the mortgage as an income percentage. And then we looked at the affordability index to see where it ranked. So I talked about all the actual factors, not just the one call out.
No, I know, but the point being that in Canada, it takes about 10 years of your income, because that's the ratio is 10.1, to be able to afford a home. In the US, it's only 3. So yeah, Canadian housing is about 3 times more expensive.
If you take I'm not talking about just an individual factor, but if you take a look at the total factors, Canada falls below the United States of America. That's the point that I'm trying to make. And even more so, I'm just trying to highlight, because again, you went down this rabbit hole to actually get away from the fact that the United States of America has this large wealth discrepancy, and you trying to say, well, yeah, there's a lot of poverty, but poverty is still better here than poverty is in the rest of the world. The point that I'm really trying to drill home is with the level of income that the United States brings in through our GDP, we shouldn't have the discrepancy that we have, period. Like, that's the point.
I disagree. There's not a lot of poverty, and I don't think that discrepancy means anything negative. It depends on because it's all relative. We have
it's relative to our country, not relative to other countries.
Correct. That's my point. So
and relative in our country, it's absolutely massive.
It's not. It's. I think that's something you guys push to try and excuse the disgusting philosophy.
The poverty rate in the United States is 10.6%, as J Hops just called out, and this is looking at census.gov. Census.gov did a breakdown of it, and also used the U.S. Davis Center of Poverty, which looked at the complete breakdown. And this measures about 35.9 million Americans. It looks at the fact that children 18 or under, 14.3% of them are in poverty. It looks at the breakdown of like people with disabilities, all this other stuff. But the point being is, okay, help me understand this, because you're trying to spin this as if like
I'm not.
Poverty. No, you really are. Your position, the position you're trying to take is poverty is not bad, and we're just making a big deal of it. So help me with that.
I think that poverty is overstated to try and push a garbage philosophy.
What's an acceptable level of poverty for you in the richest country on earth?
It depends on how you measure poverty.
The way that we measure it here in our country. So what's the actual acceptable amount? How many people is okay with you as far as being in poverty within the United States of America?
Again, it depends on how you measure it, and depends how long they're in poverty for.
The levels, the way that we measure the way we measure poverty within the United States of America, that'll be how we measure
relative.
Yeah.
So it's the SPM, which is relative to housing cost, to cost of living, depending on where you live. Mm-hmm. So when you actually look at the SPM, you'll see that the highest poverty rates are actually in places that are very left-wing dominated.
I hear you, but you're still not answering the question.
I am answering. Okay, here's the answer. The ideal poverty rate is 0. So we should adopt policies that reduces poverty, right? And
sure.
When you actually look at policies, left-wing dominated areas are higher in poverty.
What Republican policies actually push a lower percentage of poverty?
Things that allow for upward mobility, that create jobs, that create housing supply,
such as
reduce cost of living, deregulation of housing, for example, reduces.
You want more deregulations? Supply. You think that's a good thing?
Yes. Absolutely, I do. Yes.
Okay, so hey, question:
you think more regulation is a good thing?
I think.
Do you think that our housing market is not regulated enough?
No, I think beneficial regulation. It's not about more or less. It's about actually having beneficial regulation. Who's hit harder when deregulation occurs?
Beneficial in intention or beneficial in outcome?
Who's hit harder when deregulation occurs? Where does deregulation disproportionately affect?
The deregulation disproportionately positively affects consumers.
I didn't say positive, negative. Who is negatively impacted by deregulation disproportionately?
Usually the established established corporations. And
I'm not talking about corporations, you donut. People. What people are I don't care about corporations. I care about people. What people?
Me too.
Are disproportionately affected by deregulation. You know this. You're being willfully obtuse.
No, I dispute what you're saying. I disagree.
Okay, then
with
answer the question. If you're not being willfully obtuse, what people are disproportionately affected negatively by deregulation?
It depends on the type of deregulation. I don't know. Like, it's too broad.
You're disingenuous as fuck. Stop it. You're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous. Okay, housing regulations.
Bro,
when you cut back on regulations for housing, which allows more pollutions, and you allow more. You allow yes.
No, it isn't. So is there more pollution in Texas than there is in California?
Can you answer the question honestly?
I'm answering it.
No, you're not. You don't answer a question with the question. I need you to answer. You're being bad faith. And if you're going to be bad faith, then there's no point in me talking to you. Like, come on now. You're being bad faith at this time. You're
presuming, but Santana, you're presuming that deregulation increases pollution. That's not necessarily true. A lot of the regulation regarding pollution actually was passed by Republicans.
Shut up. I didn't say that we need a bunch of deregulation. I said we need beneficial deregulation. I'm sorry, beneficial regulation, meaning if we're going to have regulation policies in place, then they need to be very targeted and very intentional on protecting Americans. I don't think that we need additional layers of paperwork. I don't think that we need a bunch of red tape that's unnecessary, but I do believe that we need to ensure that we have regulations in place that protect Americans, the quality of life, their overall health, and their ability to live on a day-to-day basis. Now tell me, with current deregulation, we can stick with the Trump administration with their current deregulations, the thing that they have made a decision to deregulate. Who does it disproportionately negatively impacts?
Large institutional investors.
I'm talking about people, not companies. You're being disingenuous because I've told you over and over and over, I do not give a fuck about companies. Stop playing in my face.
Okay, sure.
Sure what?
I don't like your question doesn't make sense. Deregulation.
The question absolutely makes sense, and you're disingenuous as fuck.
Okay, here,
and you don't want to answer it. No, I'm not giving you. I'm not giving you the answer to shit. Give me the answer. Deregulation under the Trump administration currently has negatively, disproportionately affected what group of people?
I don't think it has negatively. You'd have to show me something that shows.
You're disingenuous as fuck. Like, I'm not going to play the. I've been sitting here going down this rabbit hole with you, talking about wealth disparities. We've looked at other countries. You've been hyper fixated on the UK, on Canada. I've been trying to drill in the fact that we're talking about here in the US. You tried to bring up the point that, well, even people that are in poverty, it's not that bad because they have cell phones and access to internet, and you won't even talk about who deregulation actually negatively impacts. A fun fact: poor people. Poor people, specifically, normally minorities. So when you take a look at the deregulations that have occurred under the Trump administration this term, they've allowed more pollutions, forever toxins, pollution into the water, pollution into the air, and has disproportionately hit areas like Memphis, other areas where there's high population of non-white people. You're just disingenuous as fuck. And he knew it. He was just disingenuous as fuck. That is very true. Fuck you, Mad Comfy, you disingenuous piece of shit. You entitled prick. Fuck you. You are disingenuous. You are entitled, and you're a liar. The fact that you have to be disingenuous to try to quote unquote win a debate when you had no substance. Your entire point was poverty isn't that bad. The left is just making a big deal out of poverty. Fuck out of here. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart meat. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. I just heard someone chime in over on the YouTube. So give me a second here. So over on YouTube, we have something Destiny 2 or whatever. Hey, I have a new rule over on YouTube because we have this weirdo coward that keeps coming in and just like saying random shit and won't actually, you know, stand on any type of business. So Destiny, whatever, I have you all up on the YouTube stream right now. In order for me to unmute your mic, you are muted. No one can hear what you're saying. In order for me to unmute your mic, you got to turn on your camera, put your face on the screen. Before I unmute you, you have to actually turn on your camera, put your face on the screen, and then I will unmute your mic. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put you over here on the TikTok screen. Boop. Let's do this. There we go. There we go. All right. Floor is yours. Waiting for you to turn your camera on. And I'm also going to type this in the private chat because I know you can hear me, but let's see. So just dropped it in the private chat where they can actually see, say, waiting for you to turn on your camera before I unmute you. It's in the private chat. Floor is yours. You got 10 seconds. The only way that I'm going to unmute you and you'll be able to speak is by turning on your camera and putting your face on the screen because, you know, I'm positive that it's the same weirdo that every single day who's obsessed with me comes in and keeps changing their username. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All righty. There we go. So FYI, for anyone listening who plans on joining from YouTube, that's the rule. That's the rule. Be prepared to, you don't have to keep your camera on the entire time, but you have to, in order to be taken off of mute to start the debate, you have to be on the screen. You have to put your face on the screen. You have to be on camera. After we get you on camera, I'll take you off mute. We can get the debate going. So if you're unwilling to do that, might as well not even request up. That's interesting. Anyway, guys, keep tapping the screen. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Dadbot, welcome back. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Santana?
Good, good, good. Dadbot, are you a Christian?
I would consider myself a Christian, however, not perfect.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't think anyone's perfect. Hey, Dadbot, why have we seen throughout the history of the world, not just the United States, but the world, Christianity, people who claim to be Christians and followers of Christ, weaponize their Christianity, weaponize the Bible to negatively harm people in a multitude of ways? Why is that a thing?
Because we live in a fallen world and people are sinful by nature, and people that claim Christianity sometimes aren't actual Christians.
Oh, okay. So are you saying that people who deem themselves to be Christians, because this isn't something that's new. This isn't something that's like, you know, just popping up or whatever. Christianity has been used to justify genocides throughout the history of our society. Doesn't that sound like there's an issue with Christianity as a whole?
It wouldn't be Christianity that's done that, but I mean, they have. They're not excluded from other religions that have done the same exact thing.
Can you name one other religion that has done what Christianity has done?
I mean, I can name one right now that specifically has an ideology that specifically talks about taking away the lives of infidels. But I know you don't like
Christianity?
talking about that, so no, I'm talking about Islam.
Oh, okay. So would you say overall, throughout the history of the world, Islam has had the same type of negative impact that Christianity has had?
I would say that overall it has had a impact, not necessarily for a net negative or a net positive, just like Christianity. When it comes to historically, we've seen jihads. We've also seen the Christians go with the Crusades. Historically, there have been, again,
Can you name anything
positives and net negatives?
Can you name anything similar to the Crusades that was done within Islam?
I mean, similar to the Crusades.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying anything
that caused a massive amount of death and the actual stifling of technology and innovation and progression, similar to what the Crusades was.
I mean, as far as something similar to the Crusades, I guess I could say if you wanted to go back into biblical references, I could use the Bible and
why are you going all the way back to biblical references? But sure, let's hear it.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, I can say Islam or I mean, even Judaism. Honestly, like there's all kinds of examples. I mean, Islam.
Wait, so
again,
are we
jihad,
are we talking Islam or Judaism? Which one are we dealing with?
Well, let's do Judaism since that seems to be what everybody doesn't like these days.
Okay, so just to verify, your claim is Judaism has been as harmful throughout the history of the world as Christianity has been.
I mean, I wouldn't say as, I would say that, I mean, again, going back to what I said, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all of them have had their wars or righteous
right. No. I'm not saying any religion is perfect, because I think any religion can be and has been weaponized. But the point that I'm making is that the consistent and persistent, overwhelming weaponization of Christianity has been something that has been used to justify genocides in each century throughout the history, and is even still used today to actually harm and disenfranchise people. Right. I mean, if you talk about like even the colonization of Turtle Island, right, when you go back to the Spaniards and the fact that the conquistadors came here for two reasons, right? Number one, looking for gold. Number two, to spread Jesus Christ, right? Those are the two big things. Even just like looking at the history of our country, the premise of Christianity was used to justify, not only was race ordained by the Catholic Church, but it was also like utilized and weaponized against African people, saying that they needed to be civilized, they need to be brought to Christianity. Once the slaves were brought here, they used Christianity with the slave Bible to justify keeping Black people enslaved. After slavery, when Reconstruction was occurring and Black people were getting some level of freedom and making strides within the United States, white Christians then said that they needed to go through reclamation because they were ordained by God to have this land and have Black people as their slaves. And then, just like moving throughout different portions of our history of our country, even to today, the way that Christianity is used and weaponized against the queer community, it's used and weaponized against women, when even the Bible, like in 1946, the Bible, the company that purchased the rights to print King James Bibles in the United States, when they purchased the right, they made changes in the Bible. And one of the big changes was them changing the biblical text in Exodus. I'm sorry, not Exodus, but Leviticus, from man shall not lay with child to man shall not lay with man. And then in the 1950s, the Southern Christians were weaponized against women to fight back as far as their rights to bodily autonomy. So are you saying that Islam or Judaism has similar impacts throughout the history of the world?
I mean, I would say Islam for sure, but going back to what we originally were talking about as far as the negatives, like talking about the Crusades versus, jihad, the differences really are the Crusades were specific medieval Christian military campaigns, mostly between the 11th and 13th centuries, right? Jihad is more broader. It's a holy war. And so it's ongoing. It's currently like, it's not something that just
you're using that as a catch-all.
No, it's just it's a more broad, thing that's happening.
So are you saying, can you give me specific instances of quote unquote jihads?
Instances of jihads throughout history?
No, specifics, because you're saying, oh, it's a holy war and it's ongoing and da 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 da. Again, I said you're using this as a catch-all. I'm not using the Crusades as a catch-all for all the fuck shit that Christianity has perpetuated throughout the history of the world. I'm saying the Crusades is one of the multitude of instances of fuck shit from Christianity.
Right, but I mean, jihad basically, as far as a holy war is concerned, throughout history, I mean, it's been ongoing. I mean, you got the early Islamic period where raids and battles, were connected to the formation of the early Muslim community. The medieval period, it happened. Jihad was used in wars against the Crusades. Colonial area, it was anti-colonial jihads appeared in places like Algeria, Sudan, Libya, West Africa, and even now, modernly, jihadist movements were later.
Let's be specific. So the jihad that occurred during the Crusades, when was that?
During the Crusades, that was like in the medieval time frame. I mean, as far as the actual date, you want me to give you the actual date?
Yeah, or just like I gave you the title of the specific Christian holy war, which was the Crusades. Do you have an official name of the jihad that you want to reference?
I mean, it was officially being used in the, I think, 7th and 9th centuries. It became, I know it became more politically prominent in the 11th to 13th centuries, especially in the response to the Crusades. So, if you want me to go more modern, then I can give you more modern instances.
No, I would just like to see something that I can actually pull up and take a look at it. Let's see here. Jihads.
1096. Let's just go with the Crusades because that's when that began in 1096.
Do you know what it's called?
What the
1096? 1096 jihad.
No, the Crusades began in 1096, but that was when we started seeing an uptick of jihad. So, jihad it predated the Crusades, but it was significantly revived and intensified during the Crusade period, especially in the 12th century, in a response to the Crusades.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. 1096, the concept of jihad was well established in Islamic doctrine doctrine of scared struggle, rather than a response to Christian West. It was already long Muslim territorial expansion. However, in this year, the clash of civilizations ignited as Christians launched their first crusades to reclaim Jerusalem. So it looks like here that and also FYI, and this comes from Princeton University, the term jihad literally means to strive or to struggle. It encompasses both internal spiritual struggle and external physical defense of Muslim communities. That's interesting. That doesn't sound like the holy war that you said that it was, but I digress.
No, that's
looking at the actual, it looks like the Christians are actually the ones that attacked the Muslims during that time to engage in war.
Yeah, the Crusade started because of Pope. I think it was Pope Urban the Second.
Yep, Pope Urban II called the Holy War to assist in the Brazen Empire to liberate Jerusalem. Byzantine. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah, I
Byzantine.
mean, he called to help Byzantine. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, against it was I'm gonna slaughter the guy's name, but it's Seljuk. He was basically Turkish advances, and
Mhm.
they were trying to retake Jerusalem.
Mhm.
But I never said the Crusades were great, or I'm going back to references to what we originally started the conversation as to the negative impacts of Christianity versus any other religion, because they all have had negative impacts.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but like again, just even looking at the history of it, the effects that they've had. I mean, I think what is this? The most recent that we can point to is, of course, in 1981, right? Unless you have something that's more recent. But when you take a look at the ideology of jihad, where like you are capitalizing as a holy war, where that's not even what it is or has been. And even more so, they speak to the fact that it's a defense of Islam. I'm still trying to understand how this compares to the overwhelming weaponization of Christianity, where Christianity has been used as an offense and has affected not only a specific area, because if you want to talk about the quote unquote jihads that have occurred, this has been pretty much isolated to the Middle East, where the impacts of Christianity has been seen throughout the entire world.
I mean, historically, sure, it was isolated to the Middle East, but we've seen that that's just not the case anymore. And
how is Islam then being used today to harm Americans?
I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily it's being used to harm. I would say it's being used to instill specific ideological belief systems within our government, within our school systems, things like that. But I mean, that's also Christianity. Like I could say that with pretty much any religion, any
Yeah, I think that there should absolutely be a separation between religion and any form of state, whether it be education or government or whatever the case may be. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about directly harming American citizens, because even if we talk about today, the Bible, Christianity is literally weaponized against a multitude of people, including the queer community and including women. So is there any instance that you can say like Islam is currently being weaponized against American citizens today?
I mean, I find that interesting that you wanted to bring up the queer community and women, specifically with the Muslim faith. They're very much anti-LGBTQ, and they're also very much oppression of the belief system of oppressing women. That's
fine. Can you tell me how then it's being used to actually harm American citizens today?
Well, I mean, I guess like it would depend on, I can't frame it into like the entire religion as like a threat to Americans, but I guess a better answer would be is that some extremist groups have been using Islamic language to justify violence against Americans. And while the vast majority of Muslims,
are you referring to extremist groups outside of the U.S.?
No, within and outside, because outside and inside, you have to remember we have social media.
Can you give me examples of organized Islamic groups inside of the U.S. that are weaponizing Islam against American citizens?
Okay, so all right. Let me just make sure I got that. So you're saying, give you an example of an organized Islamic group or groups?
Yeah, I mean, like at this point, I'm grasping for straws. Any way that you can show me that Islam is being used to negatively impact American citizens today inside of our country, similar to the way that Christianity is being used.
Okay. I mean, that's such a broad question, but sure. I mean,
yeah, again, I mean, I'm trying to make it broad so you can actually find something that you can like compare, and we can talk about that. Because again, I mean, Christianity, I'm being very specific. Christianity is used to justify the disenfranchisement of women and people within the queer community.
Sure. So, I mean, I guess like the best way I could really frame that would be, again, small number of extremist organizations have used Islamic language or claims of, religious legitimacy, and they have carried out or inspired violence against U.S.,
Sure. Can you
victims.
give me the that name of those organizations that are within the U.S.?
Al Qaeda has been used and targeted. I mean, they've openly targeted Americans, U.S. interests, including.
Is Al Qaeda functioning within the U.S. today?
I mean, not openly, not that we're aware
do you,
of. But
do you have any
there.
evidence that Al Qaeda is actively inside of the U.S. today, looking to harm American citizens?
I personally do not know. But I mean,
okay, so then
again, the ideology
that sounds like just a random claim.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, but again, if we're looking at social media and how the ideological movement has impacted younger individuals to go out and do things that are, not good for America, like that one instance where that young man ended up throwing, or he made some sort of makeshift boom boom and threw it into a target or a crowd a few months ago. I mean, those are things that I'm talking about specifically that have impacted the minds of these young individuals to do radical things that would technically be. It sounds like acts of terrorism.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying that for some reason, people being indoctrinated and like there's some type of connection. But see, the issue is that you're saying this based off of things that you can kind of connect the dots with. And when I talk about like the direct disenfranchisement of these people within the communities, I mean, like, I'm talking about the Heritage Foundation and their consistent, persistent, almost 60 year approach to overturn Roe v. Wade. Right. So much so that they put up the 3 Supreme Court justices that were nominated by Donald Trump, who all lied and said that they would not touch Roe. But then as soon as they had the majority, overturned Roe. You could talk about the current Trump administration, who has targeted the transgender community with making them the boogeymen, the $215 million spent by the Trump administration for misinformation, disinformation, the exiling of them from the military, which FYI, they just won a claim and said, the Trump administration was wrong. So they're probably going to be suing the Trump administration soon. But then also Republican lawmakers, since Donald Trump has gotten back in office, has petitioned the courts to overturn Obergefell, I think that's how you say it, but the gay rights law. And so like literally they are actively today using the United States government to harm American citizens by restricting right to bodily autonomy and disenfranchising them under the guise of Christianity.
Okay. I mean, like I said, going back to specifics as to,
well, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hey, be toughy, y'all, Billy in 86. Stop yapping in the comment section. Get up here. We don't care about what you're saying in the comment section anymore. I've muted you for the entire live. The only way your voice is going to be heard is if you actually get up here and debate. And guess what? You can go 2-on-1 with the great one. Dad Bod's already up here. If you're scared of being up here by yourself, don't be scared. Go to church. If you're not scared, then get in the box. Like, you have a partner up here. You have a safe space, but you're not going to yip yap in the comment section anymore. Whatever. Anyway. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, so I guess what I was what I was trying to reference as far as like saying physical actual groups versus I'm referencing more so like virtual, like, so again, online presence, like virtual, like inspirational networking, things like that. Like those are still platforms, or there can be platforms that are utilized to instill specific ideological belief systems in individuals, and then you see the repercussions of that. So that's kind of what I'm saying, because obviously we can't say that, you can't say that that Islam as a whole, because obviously not all Muslims are of the same ideological belief system that individuals that are associated with these terrorist groups are going to act out and do the same things. That's just not, I can't conflate the two. That would be
so again, you're trying to perpetuate some ideology that you can't substantiate, while I'm talking about the tangible negative effects that have occurred with American citizens. Give me a second. J-Time, you're here every day. You're yip yapping every day. I just muted you for the entire live, but I sent you a request. You get up here too, but you're a little bit different because you're here every day without any substance. So if you don't come up, you're actually getting blocked. Billy, do you want to add anything to this? Because Dad Bod doesn't have any tangible things that he can point to. He's only talking about ideology when I'm talking about actual tangible impacts.
Sure. So first off, you have to ask yourself, why would people leave Islamic controlled areas, right? Why would they come to the United States? That's the first question. And then the second thing is that if you import enough people from those areas, what makes you think that those areas won't turn into the place that they fled?
I'm not understanding what any of that has to do with what we've been talking about.
Oh, no, it does, because you keep bringing up the fact that, well, what Islamic people are hurting Americans like Christians. Well, I'm telling you, they don't have, when they have full control, that's when you're going to see a change. You see it in cities, right? Okay. You see it in cities where the local governments have put enough Muslims in control, and then you actually start to see change. That, I mean, what was it in Michigan where they allowed people to start unaliving their animals in their own backyards, right? Because they have enough people
that's
there.
Not true.
Oh, it's not true.
No,
that wasn't true.
That. No,
dude, go read the news. That actually happened.
Yeah, you have to prove that.
They can do it for religious purposes. What's
the point of the actual? What are we talking about? How long have you been here, or have you been able to track what we've been talking about?
No, I just scrolled across I come across your thing every once in a while. And it's
okay, like, let me give you the actual premise of what we're talking about, so you can kind of catch up, because I think you may be arguing something without understanding what we're really talking about. So the point that I brought up was the fact that Christianity has been weaponized throughout the history of the world to harm and disenfranchise people. I've talked about the history. We, took it back to the Crusades. We talked about like colonization. We talked about today within the United States of America. And so I gave Dadbot the option to give me any religion that has been weaponized the way that Christianity has been weaponized. He said, oh, Islam. He's also said Judaism. I said, all right, cool. Give me an example. He brought up like jihad, but he couldn't specifically pin down like jihads or anything like that. And so we brought it to, modern day today. And so he was talking about like things outside of the country, because I made the point that relatively speaking, Islam, any of the quote unquote jihads, which is not even positioned in the same way that he tried to position, but has been restricted to those Middle Eastern areas. So I said, how is, Islam negatively impacting everyday Americans today? Right. And so that's where we were. So that's why I brought up the fact that Christianity is being weaponized to disenfranchise women and access to bodily autonomy, and also the queer community. And he's supposed to be giving me an example of how Islam is actually acting today within our country to actively harm everyday Americans. And the best that he has is saying that, online, it's giving people bad ideas.
Right. So let me ask you this question. In the world, just like, let's say in the world, right? Would you say there's more Christians or Islamics?
Christians.
Muslims. Do you think there's more Christians than Muslims? Yeah,
I think Christianity is still at this moment the largest religion in the world. Let me double check that.
So Dad, here I am referencing myself. So what I was trying to say, though, as far as the reason this argument One second. As of right now, yes, Christianity is still the largest religion in the world, with an estimation of 2.3 to 2.4 billion Christians, and Islam is second with an estimated 1.9 to 2 billion. So you're talking 29% to 25%.
So let me ask you this question. So if you were in a Christian country and you didn't subscribe,
what's a Christian country?
Well, let's say the United States, right?
The United States is a Christian country.
Okay, well, well, what would you say? I'm saying, let's say a country that has Christianity as one of their
a country where the majority of people are Christian?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Got it. Go ahead.
Okay. If those people in charge, if you didn't believe in Christianity, do you think there would be a threat to your life? Like you're allowed to come to the United States because you can practice your religion, whatever it is, right? You're not going to get unalived for it, right?
No,
would you
that's
agree
not true.
that there's? Oh, you will. You will get unalived for being Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that happen?
In the United States of America.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Literally, the United States of America has a history of persecuting anyone that doesn't practice the same religion. Even with practicing the same religion, there's an active attack on non-Christians right now. Like the United States of America is actively inside of our country and outside of our country attacking people who are not Christian.
They're beheading like non-Christians.
Oh, I didn't say beheading, not inside of the country, but they're bombing non-Christians outside of the country. Inside of the country, they are trying to exile them outside of the country, and then also trying to ensure that they have no semblance of power or structure within inside of the U.S.
Okay.
Outside of the U.S., they're literally killing.
So wait,
the same thing can be said for Christians in our country. We've had Christians in the United States of America persecuted. I mean, just look at the most recent, news specifically where it comes to people targeting churches and going in and unaliving people using, pew-pews.
Yeah. That's literally a thing that's done by white Christian nationalists, like extremists that are on the right end up going and targeting. No, you can try to vilify the transgender community, but overwhelmingly is cishet white men. No, that's true. That's absolutely true. You know who said that's true? The fucking FBI. Literally the FBI. No, that's not false. Give me your source. Sure. Give me your source. Billy, give me your source. Give me your source that says that there's a transgender shooter problem.
Well, I have to go research it right now. But
okay, then go research it. Dadbot's right here. You're just making shit up. I don't care about the shit that's falling out your ass.
I'll go research it real quick, but I want to.
Okay, then whoa.
I will. Let me.
Whoa. Hold on. So either at this moment we're gonna go with Hitchum's razor. Either you're gonna substantiate the claim or you're gonna throw the claim in the trash.
Right, okay.
If you want to keep spending. If you want to keep speaking.
Okay, hang on.
Okay. Really quick, Dub's in the chat for Rebel for the $5 donation. 1 second here. Yeah, no, Dadbot absolutely has the quote unquote polite voice, but with the polite voice, like I've told him this before, no one cares about his niceties if his niceties upholds like things that actively harm people. I've told Dadbot this, but he's the nice guy and he's the dad and also, yeah, okay. W's in the chat for Joel for the $5 donation. Yeah, no, absolutely, Joe. Okay. When you talk about Christianity and conservative ideology, that is absolutely the approach that they take of fear. And yes, the Muslims don't actually make up a large portion of the United States at all. Followed by another $5 donation. Here's where the hypocrisy is with MAGA. He absolutely, Donald Trump absolutely, 1 second. Donald Trump has absolutely aligned himself with the Saudis, and the Saudis are directly connected with 9/11. You're 100% correct, Joe. W's in the chat for Joe. If anyone else would like to support the live, you could do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right, you said you have a source to point out the fact that we have a quote unquote trans problem with mass shooting in the US.
Audrey Hill.
Who is Audrey Hill?
The Covenant school shooting in 2023. She was a trans woman or a trans.
Okay, wait,
hang on.
Wait, no, Billy, I think you misunderstood the assignment. I'm not saying give me one time this has happened. That's not what I'm saying. You said, I'm going to send you a request to come off mute so you can hear me, or so you can respond after I finish. Billy, you said that we have a trans mass shooter problem within the United States of America. And I've said that overwhelmingly, this has been done by cis-het white men. And this has been studied by the FBI and data has been published. So if you want to counteract that, then what you would do is pull up any type of data to show that trans people have been disproportionately causing mass shootings, not naming one or two people. That's not how you get that information. Billy, I sent you a request to unmute.
To be fair, did he say that or was he referencing the trans community, or was he just referencing one instance?
He said the trans community.
Oh, I don't recall him saying that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he said the trans community. That's why I said that's not a thing.
What's the per capita?
Nobody gives a shit about per capita.
They don't?
No. What's the point of per capita?
Because it shows you that a percentage of a certain group.
What's the point of per capita?
Let me finish. How can I answer when you cut me off?
No, you started to say what the percentage was, and I don't care about the percentage because I said no one cares about per capita. What's the point of per capita?
Let me give you an example. Let's say we have.
What's the point of per capita? If you don't answer, I'll answer.
It shows you how radical a group is.
It shows you the percentage with 100,000, and it shows you the projections if said group were an actual proportionate rate of the population. So unless transgender people are going to be proportionate to the rest of the United States and not less than 1%, I don't care about per capita. I care about the amount of mass shootings. So no, I don't care about per capita.
You don't care about per capita on anything?
I don't care about per capita in this situation. There's times where per capita can be properly represented, but sitting here and saying like, oh, we need to look at the per capita for trans shooters. No, that's not a thing, because unless the amount of transgender people are going to amplify to match the proportional amount of people, then it's moot. You're literally just trying to figure out a way to make your thing work, and your thing doesn't work.
Okay, so Alec McKinney.
You giving me random names doesn't do anything, Billy. Give me any type of data or study. Give me any type of data or study that show that transgender people are overwhelmingly engaging in mass shootings. So we have a problem with the trans community doing mass shootings. Give me any type of data. Not randomly naming people.
Because the data doesn't matter because you won't take per capita.
No, data does matter. And I told you why per capita isn't a thing in this situation.
Well, of course it's not, because it weakens your argument.
No, it doesn't. It literally doesn't. Because, hey, if you can name 3 transgender people that are engaging in mass shootings, but then you can also name 50 cishet white people, even though there's more cishet white people and there's less transgender people, which number is more impactful for mass shootings, 3 or 50?
So let me ask you this question.
Can you answer the question directly?
What has more? I would say that if we have 10.
No. I don't want you to make something up. I want you to answer the question directly that I just said. Listen, no. Answer the question directly. Answer the question directly. Hey, Billy, answer the question directly. I'm muting you. I need you to answer the question directly. If you have 3 people,
trans is becoming dangerous.
Billy, that's not the question. You're being disingenuous, Billy. Stop it. The question is, Billy, is if you have 3 people that are transgender that commit mass shootings, and you have 50 people that are cishet white men that commit mass shootings, which number is more impactful? The 3 transgender people or the 50 cishet white men? Which one?
Hey, Santana, I got to get to work.
Sure.
Just to let you know. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Just one last thing. When he was talking about Michigan, he was referring to, I think it's called Hamtramck, Michigan. In 2023, there actually was, the city council allowed residents to perform religious animal slaughter on private property. So just to let you know.
For religion, which is fucked. So anyway, all right. Billy, I sent you a request to come off mute. Can you answer the question directly?
My answer directly is that it's easy to say that this has more of an impactful.
That's not an answer. I just need you to tell me which number is more impactful, the 3 transgender shooters or the 50 cishet white shooters. Just like you can talk about whatever else you want to after that, but I need you to answer the question directly. Sent you another request to come off mute.
If you grouped all the non-whites together.
Billy, can you answer? Billy, I will let you say whatever else the fuck you want to say after you answer the question. Which one? The 3 mass shooters or the 50?
Okay, in your scenario, 50. In your scenario. There. Okay. In your scenario.
So
now in my scenario, the non-whites And listen, now you have to answer me. You said you would let me.
Go ahead.
All right. So now, if we take all the non-whites and we group those together and it's a larger number, what has more of an impact?
Why are you now saying that all quote unquote non-whites versus white people?
Because your illustration, you said it doesn't matter. You said, I tried to tell you that, I asked you, I said per capita. You said it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Right? You said just in total, right? So I said, okay, if you want to play the in total game, what's more dangerous, dude?
Let's see here.
I'm just asking you.
1 second.
Some examples of illustrating mass shooters have come from different backgrounds include Omar Martin, Saeed
Let's see.
Farah.
1 second. Where are you citing your information from?
Fucking just a simple search on ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, ChatGPT is not an actual source. I need an actual source. So what I'm looking at is the let's see, Rockefeller Institute of Government. We're taking a look at mass shootings, and we're taking a look at mass shootings in the last 10 years. This gives a breakdown of the places, days, times. Let's see here, weapons, sex, age. All right.
So were those people?
Hold on 1 second. In the last 10 years, for mass shootings, because
Towards
you
churches?
tried to give a hypothetical.
Towards churches?
I'm sorry?
Towards churches? Is this towards churches?
Why are you saying just towards churches? Is the only
Because
ones
that's
that matter
where you
is
started.
the only mass shootings that matter is towards churches?
You moved the goalpost, dude, because the original argument was that Christians have targeted other people. That was the original argument.
Yeah, Christianity.
Right. Yeah. So these are Christians that have mass.
You tried to claim that. Wait, you tried to claim that. Okay, sure. Place of worships of the last, the actual last place of worships have been 23 place of worships.
Okay,
23.
23. Who were they targeting?
Place of worships. I don't know.
No.
It just says place of worship.
No.
Then you go find that information. I'm going to keep giving you the information for the hypothetical question that you have, because you didn't say no. You go look up the hypothetical now that you're adding. You're adding an additional layer to your hypothetical. The reason why I hate hypotheticals is because you don't have to use it. You have real information. So now if you want to be specific and say, oh, out of all this stuff, which ones were just churches? You go look it up. The information that I'm talking about is mass shootings within the last 10 years. And you said if you add every other race up outside of white people, then who had mass shootings? And if you take a look at the mass shootings over the last 10 years, if you add up every other race, which FYI, they don't even do this shit right. Just FYI.
Liberals.
The breakdown. Shut up, you donut. The breakdown that they have is white, black, Hispanic, not a race, Asian, and other. Yeah. But if you actually take the amount of black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and other over the last 10 years, right? Last 10 years, that comes to account for 45.3%. If you add every other category up except white people. Hey, Billy, do you know what that means?
Yeah, we have a white liberal problem in this country.
No.
You know it is,
No. Don't worry, I'll get to that. If you take a look at the last 10 years within the United States of America, white people have committed 54.7% of mass shootings, compared to every other group combined is 45.3. Billy, it sounds like we have a white problem in the US.
Well, there's more white people here.
It sounds like we have a white problem. It sounds like we have a white problem in the US, Billy.
If I went to Africa and did the numbers,
why are you talking about Africa? Do you live in Africa?
Because they have more black people per capita.
Wait, you don't know how per capita works, and you don't understand when that applies. You're just saying shit because you think you know something and you don't. You like literally, if you don't do the shitty racism, like upgrade your racism.
I'm not, dude.
You
I'm
are.
not.
You're
doing that.
literally
You just
grasping
said
at.
We have a
you're,
white problem.
you're grasping at shitty racism straws
in the United States, and he says, "Don't do racism, dude."
No,
what a joke.
Because the reason why I'm saying shitty racism.
That's a joke.
No, it's not. The reason why I said shitty racism is because you're just making things up to try to actually, you're literally just making shit up to try to justify the things that you're saying, and it's not working. And the point that I'm making is I'm looking at actual data. Now, one thing that I do want to get to though, because you said, oh, it's a liberal problem. Really? Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay, perfect. Because I've already done this, right? But you said it's a liberal problem. How much are you willing to
unstable liberal white men? Yeah.
Oh, okay. How much do you want to bet? How much you want to
towards Christians
bet on that?
Towards Christians. So wait. We're not.
Okay. So now you're narrowing it down to Christians. I'm just talking about mass shootings.
Original argument, dude.
The original argument. Listen, the original argument was Christian and Christianity, the way that it's been weaponized. You, for some reason, decided to bring up the trans community. That was you.
Right.
So we're not talking about just Christianity anymore. You took it to something that had nothing to do with the point. And so if you want to be specific and say towards Christians, then you need to go get the data, because I'm not talking about mass shootings towards Christians. That's not a thing. That's not what I've been talking about. I've been talking about mass shootings as a whole, because the point prior to mass shootings that you brought up, we're talking about the weaponization of Christianity. You, for some weird fucking reason, wanted to talk about transgender people. So if you
said that Christians were unaliving people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Who? I want to see who. Like who's what Christians?
White Christian nationalists.
What's a nationalist?
White Christian nationalist.
Tell me what's a nationalist first.
I don't give a fuck about what you think a nationalist is. I'm talking about white Christian nationalists. Billy, no, Billy. None of this matters. You trying to run to a safe place for a definition doesn't matter. You trying to find a place to hide doesn't matter. You want to deal with any and everything that is not the topic at hand. So, Billy, we have one or two options. Either we get back to the point, which is Christianity and the way that it is harming Americans, the way that it's harmed people throughout the history of the world, or you need to somehow go substantiate some of the random bullshit that you've been saying, and you don't substantiate that with ChatGPT. Just like I gave you the source and the title, you need to give me a source and the title, ChatGPT, Google it, AI, quick searches. That is not an actual fucking source. Your choice.
Okay, so I'm going to substantiate what I'm saying right now with Christianity.
Okay, well, first tell me what the claim is, tell me the source, and then substantiate it.
Okay. The claim is this: Christianity supports the nuclear family. The nuclear family, what's that look for? Does it not? Does it not support man, woman, and family? Does it not support marriage? Does it not support not cheating on your spouse?
Sorry. Hold on one second. Okay. The reason that I made that, like the look on my face, is because that had fuck all to do with the two things that I said we could talk about. Like, this is something completely different.
Well, just to be clear, you don't want to talk about one of the two things that we've been talking about. You want to talk about some different thing. No, you just said that just before this. You said that Christianity was bad for America, and I'm going to show you right now how
Christianity is being used to harm Americans.
And exactly. Stop right there. I'm going to show you right now how Christianity, not having Christianity, has destroyed Black America. You ready? Let's get into that.
No.
I know you don't want to go there, dude, because you know where I'm going.
No, Billy, I don't want to. Hold on. No.
Christianity saved Black America.
Billy, stop. Before we do anything else, I need you to admit that you don't want to talk about any of the two things that we've been talking about. You want to pivot to something else. Before we do anything else, send your request. Can you just admit that you don't want to talk about the two things that we've been talking about? You want to talk about something else.
I don't want to talk about it because we're not going to come to terms on it. But
you can agree that we're no longer talking about those two things that we have been talking about.
We're not talking about those anymore because we're not going to come to terms.
So now, what I need you to do, because you're about to try to sit here and talk about Black people.
Yes, we're Black families.
I don't give a fuck about you trying
Lack of
to
dance.
talk.
We're gonna talk about dance in the house.
No.
Talk about dance. Yep.
Oh yeah, you're just wrong on that. You're again,
Okay, we're gonna
literally,
talk about it.
Literally, you're trying to get your shitty racism off, and it's so lazy.
We're going to Christianity, dude.
One second here, Billy.
Too,
One second here, Billy. One second here, Billy. You specifically wanted to talk about Christianity with black people. I never said
white people. And white people.
No. You said black people. You said that. Now you're trying to change it because I called you bullshit. Billy,
no, it does.
It Billy,
damage the black
Billy,
Americans,
you're trying to actually change it because I called out your bullshit.
No, let's stick to it. Let's stick to Black American and Christianity.
Okay. You know what? Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm willing to do this. Give me a second, Billy. Give me a second. I'm gonna actually, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Now, FYI, Billy, I'm gonna let you tell me how, because you said Christianity saved the black family. That's what you said, right?
Well, it saves black families and it saves all families.
Okay,
but it saves black families.
Perfect. Yes, perfect. So I'm going to let you explain that, right? Okay. Let me thank a couple of people, but before you explain that, I'm going to just give you a quick rundown as far as Christianity and black people within the Americas, and then I'll let you tell me how that offsets it. So give me 2 seconds. Let me just thank a couple of people. Hold on, I don't care. Give me a few seconds. Let me thank a couple of people. I'll lay out the harm, and then you can tell me how the positive has counteracted the harm. So give me just 2 minutes just to catch up on these thank yous because we are falling behind. Excuse me. First and foremost, W's in the chat for Lord Tamayoshi for the $10 super chat over on YouTube. They said non-whites really don't perform mass casualty events. Let's be real, right? W's in the chat for Lord Tamayoshi. W's in the chat as well for, let's see here, for She. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Yeah, no, it's literally the perpetuation of harm and it's Islamophobia. That's all that he was doing. That's literally all he was trying to get off of She. Like, but the funny thing about all of this is that he knows fuck all about it. That was the crazy thing. W's in the chat as well for Gregory for the $5 donation. Yeah, you're fucking right. KKK burning crosses on black people lawns. I wasn't even going to say that one because that's easy, low hanging fruit, but you're fucking right. W's in the chat for Joe for the $5 donation. Let's see here. Sorry to keep injecting. I appreciate it always. Even with per capita, it's still not even close. Yeah, like again, but they still don't even know what per capita is and how to properly use it. It's just them spewing bullshit. Literally bullshit. W's in chat for Darius for the $1 donation. You're right. Like exactly. Muslims, they're literally not the people that we should be fearing. And that's the point that I've been making. And I even talked about the fact that colonialization is a key principle of Christianity. So boom. W's in chat for Mara for the $5. Thank you, Mara. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you. W's in the chat for Jenna for the $15 donation. Thank you, Jenna. Jenna said, according to multiple sites, including the FBI, there have been 5 confirmed mass shootings by transgender individuals in the last 10 years. I know that. He didn't know that. He was just trying to get some bullshit off. W's in the chat, Jenna. Thank you so much for that $15 donation. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation. Yeah, like biological Christian is absolutely right. He knows nothing. W's in the chat for Rachel for the $5 donation. Rachel wants you to stop projecting white fragility. That's what Rachel said. W's in the chat for Rachel. Thank you so much for the 5. W's in the chat for Amy for the $10 donation. Thank you so much for the 10,
I'm gonna
Amy.
jet unless we get into this conversation. I'm not going to listen to this. If you want to have more conversation, let's go, dude.
I'm literally almost done. I said, let me catch up because we're getting behind. You said, okay, if you want to run, then run. But you just have to admit that you're running because I told you what I was doing before I started. And you even said, okay. So now you're just being bad faith because I didn't just randomly start doing this. I told you how we were going to move forward. Don't play in my face. W's in chat for Amy for the $10 donation, who said, we went from Muslims to trans people, now to non-whites, to liberals to Africa, anything but admitting that he's wrong. That's what they do. And now he's even threatening to run after I told him this is what we're doing. Like, this is who he is. Like, literally, that's who he is. W's in the chat for Rebel for the $1 donation. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, that's going to be one of the things that we talk about, Rebel. Thank you so much for the $1 donation. Thank you all. I know I got to catch up on Twitch. I will get to that in just a moment. But we just wanted to catch up with these donos first. Again, guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out, guys. 1.5 thousand people hanging out on TikTok. Look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Turn on notifications so you know when we go live. We go live all the time. Also, last but not least, make sure that you are knocking out the daily gift goal and doing all the wonderful things. All right. So, Billy, I sent you a request to come off mute. I'm going to run down really quickly, the way that Christianity has harmed Black people. And then you're going to tell me how Christianity has helped Black people and the Black family. Or I'm sorry, Black people.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay,
all right.
Good.
So to start, the Christianity, the religion was literally the driving factor used to justify chattel slavery, right? It was the reason why race was created. So race was created and it was used to justify Blackness, and it was done and sanctified by the Catholic Church, right? And then,
well, are you talking about biblically? Because I mean, you did not invent slavery, dude. Black people did not invent slavery.
When did I say Black people invented slavery? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just saying that you said the Bible or Christianity, like something with slavery.
No,
it was dated way back to like.
Don't worry, I'll tell you more specifically.
Okay.
There's a Portuguese man by the name of Gomes Inês de Zarara that actually invented the construct of race. This was done at the behest of the Catholic Church. They commissioned him. He was a chronicler for Prince Henry the Navigator. He actually he wrote down the ideology behind Black people being hypersexual, being uncivilized. They needed it to, have religion. And so the Catholic Church published 2 papal bulls saying that these European countries could engage in chattel slavery. Prior to the papal bulls and the creation of race, slavery was not based off of, phenotypes. It was based off of religion. It was based off of conquest. It was based off of indentured servitude, blah, 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 blah. But the Catholic Church justified the ability to enslave people based off of their race, which then led to the transatlantic slave trade. That's what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the actual creation of race and the start of the transatlantic slave trade was literally done via Christianity. Now, prior to even Black people being brought to Turtle Island, I'm just going to stick to Black people. There's much more outside of that, but I'll stick to Black people. Once they got them here, they used what was called the slave Bible. Right. They took the Christian Bible. They took certain passages out of the Christian Bible and they taught Christianity to Black people in order to justify them as being slaves. Right. And so they said that the Bible said in order for them to get into heaven, they would have to continue to be slaves. And so that's how they were harmed while they were here. Now, after the Civil War, after Black people took their freedom back and they started to actually gain any type of footing within society.
Before we go further with American Black slaves, you skipped a step though, like you missed something. Were the people that sold the slaves from Africa, were they Christians?
I don't know, but who was selling Black people?
They weren't.
No, who was selling Black people?
They were losing tribes. They were collecting losing tribes and they were selling them in the
Who?
Africans.
No, they weren't.
They were not? I didn't
Give me
know
proof.
that. That's interesting.
Give me a bill of sale. Yep. And if you find that bill of sale, you'll be the first person ever to find it. Anyway, I'm going to finish what I'm saying while you go on this wild goose chase. Yeah. Then after Black people took their freedom, and started the Reconstruction period. White people used Christianity again in what's called reclamation prior to Jim Crow to say that white people were ordained by God and given this land and given autonomy over black people, and black people were supposed to be their slaves. And so they used Christianity again to then walk back any gains that had been made by black people during Reconstruction, taking away rights, taking away land, taking away any and everything that black people had made for themselves after being enslaved. Then you look at the approach throughout the rest of the time. We could talk about like during the Civil Rights Act, where Christian leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr., who was propped up by the United States government, weaponized Christianity to make black people docile. Even you could talk about the Million Man March that started as a grassroots operation that was literally feared by the government. Those they called them the what was it? The something six? I forgot what they called, but six black people that were brought in to be the face of the Million Man March and to make this kind of a standardized event. And then they also brought in other religions, white people of other religions, 4 more white people. And so they had 10 people, where they then watered down the Million Man March and moved it from a grassroots movement that was destined for revolution to something that made black people more docile and acceptable. And even Martin Luther King Jr. at the end of his life admitted that he had led black people astray and quote unquote feared that he had led his people into a burning building because weaponization of Christianity against black people. And it is still used as of today, not only to harm black people as a whole, but it's used today to harm people within society because, yes, black people, women, children. Yes, black people, part of the queer community. Yes, 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 yes. Even the premise of patriarchy and the nuclear family hurts black people and hurt people as a whole. So that's the history of weaponization of Christianity when it comes to black people. Now, tell me how Christianity not only offsets that, but helps black people.
Yeah, I will get to that, but I want to go back to your thing because I have a bunch of resources here. It says,
Sure.
quote, African leaders.
I don't want, no. That's not a, wait, Billy. Reading random shit is not a source. We've already talked about that. I just sent you a request to come off mute. If you want to give me a source, because I told you ChatGPT will not cut it, give me the actual source and the title and I'll pull it up. You can say, just like I said.
Slaveryandremembrance.org.
Okay, slaveryandremembrance.org.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the title?
Well, that's hang on. There's captor and captives. See that? If you go to the transatlantic slave trade, and then you under there you see capture and captives.
Okay, and this is going to show us a bill of sale.
It's going to say, I'm just going to read it to you. Let me read it to you.
No. I want the bill of sale. That's what you're supposed to be looking up, the bill of sale.
Dude, you want a resource? I gave you a source and you don't want to accept it.
No, what were you supposed to be looking for?
Look, Europeans and American slavers exchanged goods for people from African trade.
Billy, stop. Billy, you're supposed to be looking for a bill of sale. The reason why I said bill of sale, and this is on me. I'm sending you a request. I apologize, Billy. This is on me. The reason why I said give me a bill of sale is because everything else was actually documented. The amount of black people that they stole, how they had them aligned on the ships, right. The routes, the crew members, how many that. I'm sorry?
Are you looking at what I gave you? Looking at what I gave you?
Yes, I have it in front of me. Okay, let me finish what I'm saying, and so you can understand why I'm saying a bill of sale, not just random claims.
This is not a claim. This is accurate. This is factual information, dude. Like, what are we talking about? Then
give me a bill of sale. I can show you right now logs, records of black people being transported from Africa to the Americas. I can show you actual bill of sales when they were sold on the auction block from slaveries. I can show you direct from people who were looking to enslave black people and how they went about enslaving them. I can show you direct writings today of all of this. And the only thing that I need from you, Billy, is a bill of sale showing that these actual slave traders purchased slaves from these black people in Africa. That's it. Just one showing that they actually did. I can show you the documentation and the paperwork for everything else because you know what? They were diligent in their documentation of everything.
This is a waste of time. Let's just move forward then.
No, you're the one that made the claim.
Anything, dude.
You made the claim.
Anything. You
Billy,
told me to show you something. I showed it to you.
Billy, you made the claim. You literally made the claim. If this is true, then show me. Hold on one second. I'll show you what I mean. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
I will just say where you're sitting there researching that. I just did.
I'm not researching anything. I'm actually showing you something.
And I just asked the question, like,
yeah, sure. I'm not researching anything, and I don't need you to actually just randomly spam say shit. No one can hear you right now, Billy. I don't care about your random shitty ass claim. No one can hear what you're saying. And I said, I'm not researching anything. I'm actually putting something on the screen so you can see what I'm saying and you can see what I'm looking for. So I'm now putting this over on this screen, Billy. And now I'm going to put this on this screen as well so you can see what I'm saying. I'm not making shit up. I'm not saying like, give me someone who said something. I'm saying, give me this. This is an actual bill of an actual bill of sale of slaves that were sold on the auction block in America. Show me one of these, Billy.
No, I agree, dude. I'm not saying that's past what I'm saying though. I'm saying where do they get the slaves from? They got them from Africa, right? I agree with what you're saying. They stole them. You're saying that you're saying they sold them. I'm saying they bought them.
Okay, then show me a bill of sale. This is a bill of sale.
I can only show you like documents that I can only show you these things. If you go do the research, I'm giving you these links.
I've done the research, Billy, and what I'm telling you.
False. You're saying all these are false.
Yes, I'm saying your claim. I'm saying your claim is bullshit. I'm saying your claim is bullshit. Black people didn't sell black people. That's what I'm saying.
They didn't. They didn't have losing tribes, and they did not sell those people. Because
I'm telling you,
were they not enslaving people?
I'm telling you that black people did not sell black people to colonizers in order to sell them into chattel slavery. That's not a thing. This is a bill of sale. The only thing that I need you to do, Billy, is show me something like this. This is it. That's it. That's all you got. Because it doesn't exist, you fucking donut. Anyway, let's move on.
Why are all these historians? Why are all these historians saying this? You're saying all this. You're saying all these.
Because history is written by colonizers.
Well, colonizers is probably the best thing that's happened in this country, dude. So that's why
you're fucking wrong. You're fucking wrong. Go ahead with your shitty example.
Okay, so would you say right now that
you're supposed to be telling me how Christianity has helped black people in America? So that doesn't require me answering questions. Lay it out like I laid it out for you.
Let me talk about that. Exactly what you're talking about. Let me talk about it. Then we can have a discussion. You can't keep.
I'm not answering any questions. Just lay out your argument, just like I did.
Okay, so I'm asking you the question.
No, I'm not answering questions. Lay it out.
Let me ask you this question. Have Christians tried to save black Americans? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, let me ask you the question. Here we go. You ready? Would you say
stop with the questions and lay out your fucking argument like I did? We literally talked about how this was going to work. I don't care about your shitty questions. Lay out your argument.
Abortion. Christians, in large part, are not for abortion. In fact, they try to.
Lack of access to abortion hurts black women.
They are pro-life, dude. And there's
lack of access to abortions hurt black women.
There has been more black humans unalived. That is
lack
the biggest
of
thing in
access
this
to abortion
black
hurts black women.
Christians are anti-abortion. That is exactly
lack of access. I'm literally telling you the response right now because that's a shitty argument. Lack of access lack of access to abortion harms black women. Hey, what's the infant mortality?
Disproportionately affects black women, dude. 100%.
Billy,
look it up.
Billy, look it up. I have. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're randomly saying shit. Lack of access to abortion is not a good thing.
Do you care about black humans in the womb?
Billy, you're randomly saying shit. Lack of access of abortion harms women and disproportionately harms black women. What is the infant mortality rate for black women and black children? You're literally like, we've gotten so far away from the point you fucked off and you keep trying to get your shitty racism off. And I told you it's not good enough. You literally just keep saying random shitty racist shit that you can't substantiate. Answer the question, Billy. You have to come off mute. Billy, you have to come off mute.
Begging you not to run.
There is nothing in this country that has unalived more black Americans
Billy, answer the question.
than abortion. That's my answer.
No, the fuck it's not. Answer the question. What is the mortality rate for black women and what is the infant mortality rate for black babies?
It's not even close.
Can you answer the question?
I don't know the question.
Okay, so no. If you don't know, then you can't say it's not close. That's a stupid comment for you to make if you don't know, Billy.
How many black Americans have been
Billy,
unalived?
if you don't know,
how many?
Then that's
Tell me the
Billy,
answer.
if you don't know, then that's a stupid
Tell me the
answer. No, it's
Tell me
not.
the answer.
Billy, go look it up. Your claim is wrong, and you're literally grasping at straws.
There's a reason why I'm getting muted.
Because you're getting muted because you won't
can't
fucking answer the question.
True,
you're right. No, I've already answered your question. Your question was,
you know it's true that Christians.
Billy, your question was, does abortion harm black people? I said no. Lack of abortions harm women, which in terms disproportionately harms black women. And the reason being is because of the mortality rate of black women and the infant mortality rate of black people because of fucking medical racism. You don't know anything, Billy. You just keep trying to get your shitty racist points off and it's not working. You don't know anything. And you were supposed to be talking about how Christianity has helped black people. Abortion is not a benefit. Saying that, oh, you can't have abortion. More black women die with a lack of access to abortion.
How many black children die?
More.
Exactly. More children die.
More black children, Billy, more black children die due to lack of health care as a whole. And the cause, medical racism causes black children to die. The infant mortality rate for black people is more than twice the amount for white babies.
What is
and it's only increased, and it's only the infant mortality rate has increased.
Who debates and shuts people's mics off, dude?
You're not debating in good faith, Billy. You keep saying random shit and you won't answer any questions.
You won't let me. No, I'm answering, dude. I'm asking you how many black Americans have been unalived through abortion. You won't answer it, dude, because you know it's staggering.
I have no fucking idea. No.
It's staggering, dude.
You know why? Because abortion is a bodily right of women, and using Christianity to tell women they can't do what they want to do with their body is shitty. I don't care about you trying to, like, I literally just told you how Christianity was used to create race that created chattel slavery. So question for you, were there more people killed, more black people killed due to chattel slavery, race and racism, or abortion? Which one?
I would say that abortion is.
You're fucking wrong.
In the last. No.
Years, I'm not talking about in the last 2 years. I'm talking about total.
Even close. Dude.
I'm talking about total. I'm talking about total.
For it right now.
I'm talking about total. I'm talking about total.
There is a black child being unalived
total
right now. And
Billy, answer the question. What has killed more black people? Race, racism, and chattel slavery, or abortion? Answer the question.
I'd have to go crack a bunch of numbers, dude. But I can tell
No,
you
you
right
don't.
now that millions
No, you
of Black Americans have been unalived.
No, you don't.
Millions of Black
No, you
Americans
don't.
have been.
No,
Would you
don't.
argue? Would you
White
say
women
that's not
access
true?
abortions more than Black women. So boom, shut the fuck up. Solid.
Oh, thank God. I'd like to tie up some loose ends. Billy, can you tell me why King Alphonse wrote letters to King Zhao in Portugal?
I cannot.
Yeah, because they were stealing so many Black people that it was depleting his kingdom.
Okay. Can I ask you a question since you're here? Were Black kings holding Black people slaves in Africa?
Yes.
They were. And you're saying none, and you guys both agree that none of those were sold to Americas, right?
They were sold. Yes.
Okay, wait, hang on. That differs from the host, dude. The host said that never happened. So we have a conflict here.
Yeah, because
We have a
your
conflict.
claim is vague.
I know, but hang on. He said it never happened, though.
I don't care.
We have to figure this out because we have one guy.
I don't care.
Okay, he doesn't care. Of course, nobody cares when it doesn't suit your guys' argument. But we have a conflict here between the host and this other guy that showed up.
Excuse me. It doesn't matter that we disagree, because after I say this, Santana will agree. They were held under duress. Answer my question.
Yeah, I don't count coercion as an actual transaction. Like who said this? I think it was Swan that gave this analogy. With solid, you're good faith. I'll go through this with you really quickly because I know Billy's full of shit. Solid. When you normally go to the grocery store to purchase food, what do you use? Like you get to the register and you put the food down and they say your total is $30. What do you do?
I point a musket at them.
No, solid. Come on, be good faith so we can run through this quickly.
Money.
Okay, you use money and then you get your food. If you were to, instead of pull out money, you pull out a gun, will you still get the groceries?
Yes.
Okay, is that the same as paying?
No.
Perfect. So the reason why I don't accept the quote unquote being sold, because if you point a gun at someone and then say like, hey, I want you to quote unquote sell or give me these things, that's not the same as working out a trade deal or working out an equal exchange for whatever the goods are. So no, there's no, and the thing that I kept saying is show me a bill of sale. So yes, were there under duress situations where Black people were quote unquote sold? Sure, but that's not a sale. That's why I don't quantify that as it. So like we're not Billy, we're not contradicting each other. Solid and I are saying the same thing. It's just that Solid is being more detailed. Anyway, go ahead, Solid. I interrupted Solid, not Billy.
Okay, I just want to give you.
Which is apropos to my question. Why did King Alphonse write a letter to King Zhao of Portugal?
You think you said it right, that they were running low on slaves or something?
No, Portugal was literally capturing so many people that it was depleting King Alphonse's kingdom.
Okay.
This is after him converting to Christianity.
No, I'm not advocating for slavery, dude. I'm not saying that.
This is after.
Right.
This is after he.
My argument was though. Right. And I'm not saying that slavery is good, dude. I'm saying that there were.
Let's talk about violence.
Wait, hang on. Wait. We've left something though.
We've already wrapped it up.
No, we didn't. We left it. No, he has to admit that he was wrong here, dude. He wanted some hardcore.
He was right.
No, he wasn't. Let me tell you right now. Since you're here, then you're answering. Why don't you answer this? So he wanted some numbers, right? Well, let's talk about this. In 2022, right, when they're talking about abortions or whatever, Black patients represented 42.9% of all of the unalivings, okay, that took place, okay? Of course, what's the population number of Black women in the United States? It's not even close to that.
And Jeff, he's been pivoting the whole time. I don't know how much you've actually been able to keep up, Jeff.
Let me
Jeff
finish
put
my
it.
thing.
Jeff put in the comment section that was a pivot. I just want to be sure that Jeff knows that he's been pivoting this entire time.
No, you left because you couldn't answer. I'm telling you how Christians have saved Black Americans. Wait, listen, let me finish, and then you guys can go on.
I'm gonna let him get it out. Can we let him get it out so that
let me get it out so we move forward.
Judo
so look,
this motherfucker.
Yeah, sir. Okay, so that works out to about 263,000 Black Americans that were unalive in 2022 alone. 263,000 Black Americans were humans were taken off the planet through abortion.
I'm sorry. I'm tired of the bullshit.
Please let me.
Christianity.
No, wait. Sorry, Solid. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let him keep spewing stupid shit. I'm sorry. Like, I know you want to let him get it out, but I refuse. I'm not letting him do that, Solid. You got to move this along with him.
All right, it's too easy, bro. Billy, it's clear that you're just here to stigmatize Black people.
No, Christians fight for Black people.
No, you're just here to stigmatize Black people.
Christians fight for Black people.
Billy, can I ask you?
Can I have
one second, B, and then I'm gonna let B get back to the actual abortion point. But Solid, I want you to be able to get to the racist ass points that he's talking about.
Yeah, if you summarize what he said Black families ain't shit. Black people sell Black people. Black people are more violent. He's just here to stigmatize Black people, right? And whether or not he sees that as a justification for the imposition of Christianity is neither here nor there. Here's my problem, right? There's no recognition of whether or not violence is legitimized, right? You can call any behavior that you see from a disenfranchised people abhorrent or substandard and use that as justification for whatever terrible shit you're saying about them, right? But the fact of the matter is that the disenfranchisement was imposed in the first place. Billy, the problem with what you're saying is it doesn't get to the root of anything. You haven't explained why any of these cases present themselves.
The abortion issue.
So I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you one opportunity to explain the source of these disparities.
The white liberal.
The white liberal.
Yeah.
Okay. So capitalism.
Nope. The white liberal. Who founded KKK? The white
Conservatives.
Liberal. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Lincoln freed slaves.
It doesn't matter. So you just allege that it's racism. So white people.
White people what?
Yeah, white people.
Yeah, liberal white people.
For the disenfranchisement.
Right.
So
Republicans freed the slaves, dude. 100%.
So you admit that it's white people.
Black people free Black people. Fuck that. I'm sorry, Solid.
We still have slavery in this country today. I don't care. I don't care.
We have slavery. It's called human trafficking.
Slavery is legal under the 13th Amendment.
It's called human trafficking, and it happens right now, and the Democrats don't care.
The pivots to happen.
You know how many people come across the border human traffic?
That Billy, we're going to acknowledge that Billy has admitted that white people disenfranchised.
How many people have human trafficked across the border?
So the problem
you're trying to pivot, lock in, talk to Solid.
People.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about how white people disenfranchised Black people. How about the war on drugs? How many liberals did that?
White people use Black people for power. Liberals have always done it.
How many liberals did the war on drugs?
How many what?
How many libs did the war on drugs?
On war on drugs?
You can say, you can say drugs, Solid. It's fine. Just don't say the name of a drug.
How many? Do you think the war on drugs is bad?
And Billy, don't say the name of an actual drug, because that would be you running. I know, I'm just making sure I make this clear. The only thing that I would kick you for is for saying the name of an actual drug or slurring. So don't do either one of those things, and you can finish the conversation. And plus, B wants to speak to you. I'm making it very clear right now, even though you're talking about the war on drugs, don't say the name of an actual drug.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. All right, we're just going to start tallying up concessions. Every time you don't directly answer a question, we're going to count it as a concession. When I reach 3,
I refuse that. I refuse that.
Answer the question. I don't care.
Refuse that rule.
Question.
I refuse the rule. And you have to answer mine.
I don't care. Answer
you have
the question.
Okay, then we're going to play both ways. Then you have to answer mine, and if you don't answer, then it's a concession. It's a concession. Do you agree to those terms?
That's your first concession.
Do you agree to those terms? Do you agree to those terms?
Concession. Answer the question.
Do you agree to those terms?
You can't answer a question.
That's your second concession. Answer the question.
What's the question?
How many liberals started the war on drugs?
How many liberals started the war on drugs? Well, I would say it was probably a CIA op to start with. And so if I had to guess, it was, I don't know, the war on drugs, man. I don't know. I know that right now, the people making drugs are coming from other countries.
Okay, that's another indirect answer. That's my third concession.
Are white people making drugs? Are white people making the drugs?
I'll see y'all later.
Are white people, are the cartels? Are white people the cartels? Oh, man, he left. Will you answer?
Solid. Shut up, Bill. Go ahead, B.
I'm fuck off, dude. I'm not sitting on your thing. You're not gonna talk to me like that.
Shut the fuck up, you coward.
Fuck off, dude.
Go ahead. Go ahead and run then. Go ahead, B. He is. He is. Go ahead.
I just want to ask really, like, right, just to start off, not related to abortion, but Billy, do you think we're liberals?
I don't even know who you are, dude.
No, even Santana, like the people on the panel, do you think any of us are liberals? I
haven't even thought about it. I don't care who someone is. I think this guy hates all America, dude. Well, this guy hates everybody, dude.
You keep just like talking about liberals, and I think it's kind of
that is factual, though.
Wait, no, I agree, but like none of us are liberals, so like we would agree with you, right? Or
right? I never said you were. I never said this guy was a liberal. I think this guy doesn't like anybody, dude.
Okay, perfect.
He doesn't like white people across the board. Dude.
Okay, Billy.
He's impartial.
No, I'm white and Santana likes me, right, Santana?
I fucking love B. Billy, you suck.
Exactly.
You suck, dog.
Exactly. So Santana does like white people.
So you could tell that Santana here is losing it, dude, because he started to insult, and that's what liberals do. So maybe he is a liberal.
Billy.
Shut up. Stop crying and Ryan. Stop crying and running. Lock in and talk to B.
Chew your food, dude, and let someone else talk. Chew your food, dude.
And then stop fucking crying about me. Sorry, go ahead.
You're not even letting me talk, Billy. Billy, do you know why Black women get like significantly more abortions than white people? White women? You're muted, by the way.
Yes, because they were programmed by white liberals to believe it's a good thing.
What do you mean programmed?
Who do you think started the abortion institutes? Planned Parenthood. Why do you think it was originated?
Yeah, so why do I think it was originated? Planned Parenthood started as a birth control sort of organization, advocating for Black women and women, white women, all women to get access to birth control. After Margaret Sanger died, it became also for abortions because Margaret Sanger was pro-life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's not factual, but it's interesting you say that.
Wait, what do you mean it's not factual?
It was used to control Black populations.
Wait, what? So how? With birth control?
Billy's stupid and he makes claims that he can't substantiate. FYI, I don't know.
Are you saying they wanted to control Black populations with birth control? Because again, when Planned Parenthood originated, abortions weren't being performed. Like abortions were not done at Planned Parenthood until like after Margaret Sanger died, like close to a decade after she died.
Let me give you a quote from her, and you can tell me what you think it means.
Okay, is it going to be "We don't want the word to get out"? Is that going to be one?
Well, why don't you go ahead and say? Why don't you say the quote? Just say the quote. No, you say it.
I'm not gonna say the N word.
Why?
Thank you, though. I'm not going to say the N word. Maybe you might have, but I'm not going to.
You won't say it. Oh.
No, I'm not going to say the N word.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Billy, were you planning on saying it?
Like what?
It feels like you were planning on saying it, Billy.
I would have said it. if I wanted to say it. I wanted her to say it. Right, you're a coward, dude. You're fake, dude.
Shut
you're fake,
the fuck
dude.
up and engage
fuck off,
with
dude. You're fucking lame, dude.
Wah.
You're more intelligent when you eat. Dude. You're more intelligent when you eat food in front of your audience.
Billy, can you just chill out for a sec? Okay, so again, so we realized Margaret Sanger was anti-abortion, right? I just want to make sure we agree on that.
Okay.
We do agree on that Margaret Sanger was against abortions.
I don't. I'd have to really get into it and read it, dude, to be on like what her official stance was. But I can only.
I can give you a few quotes from Margaret Sanger, and then hopefully we can agree. So she says, one, Anyone who knows anything about either birth control or abortion knows that scientific birth control methods will do away with abortions, which occur in appalling numbers in America every year. Second, she said birth control will prevent abortion. It will do away with the practice of taking drugs and poisonous nostrums.
Give me a second. Sorry, B. Billy, you see what's on your screen, right?
Yeah, one of your
Nope. That's literally TikTok. Either you come back on another account or you can come back in 10 minutes. Don't run. Either come back on another account, Billy, or you can come back in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, you got a 10-minute restriction. So either you come back on another account or you wait 10 minutes. Regardless, come back, you coward. I know you're not going to come back. I know you're not going to come back. B, did you want to finish what you were saying?
Yeah, in summary, like they always want to talk about Margaret Sanger. That quote in particular was her because she recognized, like Margaret Sanger was referring to the fact that she knows Black people at that time didn't trust the medical industry for very justified reason. And she was advocating and working with like civil rights leaders to give Black women access to birth control because she like Margaret Sanger was not a good person. Don't get me wrong on this. Like she was not a good person, but she was working with Black civil rights leaders to expand Black women's access to birth control because she recognized that Black women having children they can't afford plunges them deeper into poverty. They should have access to birth control, but she recognized a lot of them aren't taking birth control because they're distrusting of the medical institutions, which is entirely justified. So she was trying to expand their access while also, you know, trying to ensure that they at least like knew that they weren't trying to unalive them through it. Because, you know, like Black women used to undergo forced sterilization and things like that. So obviously like that had to be reckoned with to, you know, have them access birth control in a safe manner. She was not a good person though, but she was anti-abortion. Points as to why she was not a good person. But yeah, that's what he was going to talk about. But I don't even think he had an analysis as to why Black women get more abortions. He thinks Black people just like have no brains for themselves, and white liberals say like get abortions, and they're like, oh, sure, whatever you say. Like, you know, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, he didn't have anything for anything. Like literally, he just wanted to try to get his shitty racism off.
Yeah, 100%.
And like I don't know if you were here for the start of this beat or if anyone in the chat missed this, but FYI, the point on the background that he was coming up to defend is that Christians do not use Christianity and the Bible to weaponize it and harm people. That was his original point. He disagreed with Christianity being weaponized. Yeah. And as he uses his faith to weaponize and perpetuate racism.
Yeah, well, they never actually care about like Black women or Black babies. They just want to be like, "Ooh, look, I'm a savior because I care about Black babies more than I care about Black women that are here on this planet born and suffering with anti-abortion legislation."
Yeah.
But thank you, Santana. I appreciate you.
Thank you, B. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Bye. We'll see if he comes back. Billy, if you're listening, you have 7 minutes. 7 minutes, and then you can request back up unless you have a backup account. But I know you're not going to come back. I know you're not. There's some thank yous I'm going to get to here in a moment, but let's see if we can actually get a debate up here before we do. But if you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything in the background?
Man, dang, I knew something was
my
going
fault,
on.
Santana. I didn't mean to.
No worries, I'll drop you down. Oh, good. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are looking for some debates. Hi, AM, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Assalamu alaikum. How are you? I'm from Gaza.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yeah, let's see. I disagree with capitalism doesn't compare to socialism.
Okay. And do you just disagree, or are you a Trump supporter as well?
I mean, I did vote for him.
Okay. All right. Just,
very critical. Not going to say, I'm dying.
No, all good. I mean, I just wanted to verify that as well. So you're all good. Can you give me just a few moments to say thank you to a couple of people, and then I'll give you the floor so you can tell me why you disagree.
Yeah,
all right. Perfect. Let me start with Twitch. Looks like over on Twitch, we ended up getting into a hype train. W's in the chat for Patty for sending out 1 Twitch subscription. W's in the chat for One Mighty Pen, who sent out 5 Twitch subscriptions. W's in the chat for Cool Cat, who sent 27 cheer bits. W's in the chat for Escape, who sent 100 cheer bits, followed by Cool Cat sending 20 cheer bits. W's in the chat for Manders, who sent 100 cheer bits, said WPN, W Twitch. I know that's right. W's in the chat for Atlanta, who sent 500 cheer bits. Fucking go. We hit a hype train level 2. We completed the hype train level 3. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Manders for the 1 cheered bit. W's in the chat for Cool Cat for the 1 cheered bit. Yes, AI sucks as a whole, Cool Cat. AI sucks as a whole. W's in the chat for Gravicore for the 6 cheered bits. Yeah, that's all he did. He just wanted to get his shitty racism off. Like, facts. W's in the chat for Manders for the 1 cheered bit. He was insufferable and disingenuous. And I know for a fact that he won't come back because he's a coward. Like, period. That's it. W's in the chat. W's in the chat on Super Chat for Lord Tamayoshi for the $10 Super Chat to say he's pointing fingers at black and brown people when they think that white people don't have any of the same issues on their end. Like, facts. The fuck were we even talking about? W's in the chat for I'm sorry?
I said I kind of wanted to touch on what Billy was talking about, if you don't mind.
Sure, give me a second. W's in the chat for Tiana for the $10 Super Chat. He said, as a black American woman, I'm starting to kick fun. yeah, he fucking sucks. W's in the chat for Trey for the $5 Super Chat. And yeah, no, like they don't want to talk about the declining birth rate. That's the thing. W's in the chat for Jaden for the $1 donation. Yeah, he wasn't listening at all, bro. Like, he just wanted to get that shit off, and he still couldn't do it. W's in the chat for Joe for the $5 donation. Holy White Savior. This is he's so eager to rewrite history. Yeah, like that's the whole point. Like they don't want people to actually know what happened because they want to lean into deniability. That's why, like, the whole point that they've been trying to get across now is erasing all the actual shit that has been done. Like, it's a whole thing. W's in the chat for Mike for the $2 donation. Yep, fucking NPC, and he didn't answer anything, bro. Followed by the second $2 donation. He fucking, his voice sucked. W's in the chat for Avocado for the $2 donation. Yeah, he kept saying that everything was false, but he didn't have any facts or any data to disprove any of that. Like, none. W's in the chat for Sonya for the $5 donation saying, how's your day going, Chocolate Thunder? It's been fucking interesting, to say the least. W's in the chat, thank you for that. W's in the chat for Darius for the $1 donation. Ooh, Darius, I'm going to hold that because when we get him back up here, I'll come back to that. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Hannah. I have no idea. I know for a fact that he doesn't know shit about abortion except the random shit that he wanted to say. W's in the chat for Anthony for the $1 donation. He was speed rating all the isms and phobias. Like, that's what he was doing. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen, guys. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 300,000 likes. Also, make sure you hit that follow button. We got 72 new followers on the stream so far. Please, please, please hit that follow button. Turn on notifications so you know when we go live. Billy, I see that you're in the request. You have exactly 3 minutes left, and then we'll get you back up here. Anyway, go ahead. You said there was something that you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, so I mean, going back to the whole abortion thing, what exactly are you saying? I don't know if because you guys you and Solid didn't really answer to what he was saying. He was kind of bringing up the facts around abortion in the Black community, and you guys kind of just attacking him instead of really diving into what he was saying.
Why did he bring up abortion?
I don't know why the abortion was being brought up, so that's why I kind of wanted to touch on it.
So the point that I was making, and he was disagreeing with Christianity being weaponized and harming all people, and so for some reason he wanted to talk about black people, even though he's not black. And then, so since he wanted to talk about black people, I said, okay, I'm going to tell you all the ways that Christianity has been used to harm black people, including the creation of race, including the justification of chattel slavery, including after slavery and after reclamation, after Reconstruction reclamation, where white people use Christianity to say that, all of this shit was theirs, including the way that black Christian leaders were weaponized to make black people docile. I talked about I talked about the slave Bible as well, how they used the Bible and took out passages from the Bible and then only read out the part saying that black people should be slaves. And so I was highlighting all of the ways that Christianity has negatively and disproportionately impacted black people, which wasn't even the original point. He just wanted to talk about black people. Yeah. And his actual counterpoint to all of that was abortion.
Okay. Now I'm kind of following that one. Yeah, no, and I agree. Like Christians have weaponized the Bible. I mean, over its entirety. I think, since they were able to interpret it. Actually, I think any religion that has a book has weaponized it in a massive way, in my opinion. But yeah, no, okay. I agree with that.
All right. So what do you want to debate?
All right. So, sorry, with the capitalism over socialism, or, capitalism doesn't compare to socialism conversation. Before, I guess, getting started, I just would like to know what do you define as socialism?
Socialism is where workers own the means of production, but in a truer sense, it runs parallel to communism. And there's only a few discrepancies. And the point that I'm making is I don't think that we can overwhelmingly just shift to socialism. Well, I think that may happen regardless if people don't get their shit together vis-a-vis a violent revolution. But if people don't want their heads to end up in a basket, then they would accept the socialist style of government, which improves and strengthens social safety nets, and then transition from that style of government to a true socialist society, and then transition to a true communistic society. I think capitalism overwhelmingly has negatively impacted everyday Americans, and it continues to create negative impacts throughout society, causing everyday Americans to have the wealth gap increase, poverty increase, and it's not benefiting us. Hey, what up, Sorsha? How are you?
I would so in terms of like social, what are you looking? Because I feel like when a lot of people bring up, America should be socialism, it would work so much better. What example of it are you guys taking it from? Because as far as a socialist society, we do socialism better than the countries that practice socialism already.
Can you name anything that we do within the United States of America?
Nobody gives
socialist.
No country gives more money to socialistic benefiting aspects of a society than America. Just like all the government assistance we give out.
You keep saying stuff randomly, but can you name one thing specifically?
Think of like our housing program.
What about our housing program?
The government spends more. American government spends more on housing than any other country.
What do you? Okay, I need you to be
that is very specific.
Hold on 1 second. I need you. I know you're not. You're saying the government spends more on housing. I'm not sure what that means, but if you have a specific social,
Section 8 housing.
Okay, so you're saying Section 8. So you're saying that America spends more on Section 8 for their people than other governments spend on housing assistance for their people. That's what you're saying.
And I'm not saying I couldn't tell you it's exactly just Section 8. There's other types of government.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Be specific, because now you're making general claims. And the point that I'm trying to get to, just FYI, we're going to talk proportion to countries, right? So just total amount of spending doesn't mean anything if America's spending this money, but it equates to $3 per person, where, you know, this country's spending this money and it equates to $10 per person. So we're talking about
even if you
proportional
break it
to
down per
people.
capita.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So
Even
what specifically are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, so just to kind of wrap it into the, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that capitalism is the perfect, you know, is the perfect setup for any country.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you made a claim that socialism, you said America does socialistic programs better than any other country that leans into socialistic programs. So I want you to give me one specific program and we can take a look at that.
I mean, I did, like government housing.
Okay, so you're saying government housing.
Yeah.
All right. And you don't want to quantify that any type of way. You just want to allow me to quantify it.
I mean, yeah, go for it.
Okay. The only reason I say that is because I wanted to let you set the rules of engagement. I don't want to pull up something and then you say, well, I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about that.
No, I understand.
Okay. All right.
Also believe like SNAP benefits and
no, see, now that's a different claim.
Yeah, I know. I'm just bringing it, you know.
Yeah.
All of it as a whole. It's you know.
No. Like that again. That's a different claim. That's why I said.
I mean, it's part of the same claim. It's just like a branch.
It's really not. I mean, because then we would have to look at like food benefits and things like that. Again, that's a different claim.
Like the amount of money that's given to just government assistance as a whole, right? Goes that counts for Section 8. That counts for
no, that doesn't. Those are different. Those are different. That's why I kept saying that. That's why I said, would you like to set the rule of engagement? Because just because you qualify for quote unquote Section 8 does not mean that you qualify for SNAP benefits. There's different things that
but both are government assistance.
No, it's not, because you're wrapping things in together. Can I finish why I say no, it's not?
Yeah.
You're wrapping things in together that are not guaranteed to be together. If you're going to talk about all social assistance, then sure, we can look at all social assistance. If you want to talk about individual social assistance, we can talk about individual social assistance, but you can't pick multiple social assistance from the United States and then compare it to one social assistance to other countries. That's why I said, would you like to clarify? I kept trying to say, can you be specific? And then that's why I said, do you want me to set the rules of engagement?
Okay, no, I understand what you're saying.
So that's why I'm looking at specifically housing assistance.
Okay.
And I'm not even being like with the United States, I'm being generous. I'm not just saying like this, you know, one type of housing assistance. I'm saying all governmental housing assistance.
Okay.
Perfect. So looking at the governmental housing assistance per capita for the different countries, let's see where the United States of America falls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The United States of America is number 14 as far as per capita for housing assistance for their citizens. Number 1 is UK, followed by Finland, Germany, Denmark, France, Netherlands, New Zealand, Switzerland, Australia, Greece, Iceland, Israel, Czechoslovakia, and then the US. So you're wrong.
How many of those countries are socialist countries?
If you want to talk about none of them are quote unquote socialist countries, but if you talk about countries that have socialist policies, social safety nets, all of the ones that I just named.
Okay. But none of them are socialist countries.
There's no such thing as a socialist country in the world.
I mean, so you're saying that socialism would be better than
capitalism,
and because
capitalism has overwhelmingly negatively impacted American citizens in a multitude of ways.
I mean, but you can also so overwhelming negative impact. I would say, would you not agree that capitalism has and negatively impact a lot of Americans and positively impact a lot of Americans?
No, I would not say that.
Actually, I would almost argue that it's
no, I would not say that.
You gotta think about it. Is the middle class? So is the is the middle class a bigger percentage of Americans than the poverty line? That I actually don't know.
Yeah,
like, I'm
but
asking.
but that still doesn't actually track when you talk about the disproportion in the appropriation of wealth. Just because there's technically more Americans above the poverty line does not mean that overwhelmingly capitalism has benefited everyday American. Because I can get the exact amount. I can get the exact amount for you for this claim, but it's somewhere between 60 to 70% of all Americans cannot sustain a unscheduled $500 emergency. Meaning, if there is an emergency that's $500, then it can send them into the type of debt that would lead them to being unhoused.
Yeah, and I mean, I know, like, in today, I understand, like, the like every class except even like the upper class, and the bottom of the upper class right now is struggling. But things aren't good that way. But you bring it back like pre-COVID conditions, where capitalism was at its almost at its perfect reasoning. And what I mean by that is, pre-COVID, the most amount of businesses were being opened, like small
capitalism
businesses.
hasn't been beneficial to everyday Americans since prior to Ronald Reagan being in office.
Say that again?
Capitalism has not been beneficial for most Americans since prior to Ronald Reagan being in office.
Oh yeah, I completely disagree. I mean, look what happened after the recession in 2008. That was all.
A bunch of people lost their homes. A bunch of people had to return to work. A bunch of people died.
Lost their homes. But 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, capitalism did put America back on its feet very quickly.
There's a difference between America, the country, and American citizens. You're talking about the country as a whole. I'm talking about the people.
Thinking about all the people that started.
You're talking about America as a whole. I'm talking about the people. Can we make sure that we're talking about the same thing? I don't give a fuck about the actual GDP or the entity of America. I'm talking about the individual people.
Yeah. Okay. Even on the individual level, after the recession, everybody did very well.
No.
What do you mean no? Do you not remember the percentage, like the amount of middle class individuals that were buying houses?
When was the strongest middle class in United States history?
Are you just giving me like asking for like a range of dates? Like between dates
period,
or like
a time period where the middle class was the strongest, meaning the healthiest, where they had a majority of the wealth and they were able to not only live, but they were able to substantially live. What period of time was that?
I mean, I just know the middle class did amazing in the 70s and 80s. The middle class did amazing.
Nope.
I mean, they did. The 70s. Are you kidding me, dude?
No.
The 70s. How did this?
If you can't quantify it, then like I'm telling you right now, like you're wrong. But if you want to prove it, then give me a source and we can quantify it. But I'm telling you, you're wrong. I've already made the claim. You're wrong. I've literally already told you that.
How am I wrong? That between the 70s and the 80s.
You're wrong because I've already laid out to you the middle class has taken a steady hit since Reagan. Since the implementation of trickle-down economics, there is a study that was completed.
That's not, yeah. No, hold on.
I'm going to finish my sentence. I'm going to finish my sentence. I'm going to finish my sentence. I'm going to finish my sentence because I'm going to finish my sentence because you've been like making wild claims and you're not trying to substantiate anything. And maybe if I tell you all of it instead of giving you portions of the information, you'll understand it. After World War II, prior to Ronald Reagan getting in office, was the period of time where the middle class in America had its strongest periods ever when it came to proportional income, home ownership, social mobility, all of those things. Those were the highest periods in United States history due to the progressive tax rate on corporations and private corporations and the ultra wealthy. Ronald Reagan came in and instituted the idea of trickle-down economics. He did more than that as well. I mean, he negated the possibility for free public higher education. Nixon actually shot down the premise for like child covered costs by the child education and food covered by the government. But Reagan perpetuated all these things, and then he also shifted the point as far as the federal minimum wage and the cost of living. Prior to Ronald Reagan, the federal minimum wage and the cost of living were parallel. Both of them were going up at a parallel rate. After Reaganomics, trickle-down economics, and they started putting money in the hand of the ultra-wealthy, cutting taxes and saying that if you give this money and these tax breaks to these ultra-wealthy people, then they will continue to spread that amongst all the people, which will lift everyone else. A complete comprehensive study was done showing that not only was that not true, but it stifled the middle class and the lower class, causing more discrepancies and poverties, shifting the wealth from middle to upper class. And since that point, the cost of living has continued to increase, and there's only been an increase of the federal minimum wage one time. So prior to Ronald Reagan, we had the strongest middle class in United States history. After Ronald Reagan, we had massive negative impacts to the middle class and lower class. And you've seen the explosion of corporations and individual millionaires and billionaires. And you've seen the offloading of burden to everyday Americans, which includes today when Donald Trump signed the One Big Beautiful Bill into power, which then created the largest transfer of wealth in United States history, giving tax cuts to millionaires and billionaires, specifically Elon Musk, propelling him to become the first ever trillionaire, but also cutting 17 million Americans off of healthcare, causing 466 rural hospitals that are closed by the end of this year, which is going to affect 6.6 million rural people and 275,000 jobs. Literally, the idea of capitalism has helped the ultra wealthy and harmed everyone else.
I mean, I don't know about everybody else. That's just because the amount of people that are over the poverty line, I think, is kind of like at one of its extreme low points.
It's not. It's at 10.6%. But how does that account for the point that about 60 to 70% of Americans cannot manage a $500 unexpected fee?
Man, I gotta look into that. I mean, you're probably right. Not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying conditions of 2026 America are at its peak. We're definitely in a decline. Ever since kind of COVID, right? But
you keep saying since COVID, but I just proved to you that it was happening prior to COVID.
But what I'm saying is, so like, if you go back to again post recession, all of pretty much majority of Americans were in better places than they have ever been. I'm not going to say ever, because obviously back in the 70s and everything. Okay, so
prove it.
Not okay. Hold on.
W's in the chat for Anthony for the $25 donation. Anthony sent a $25 donation saying, "Thank you for educating me and so many others. FDT. FDT is right." W's in chat for Anthony. W's in chat for Miss Bella Sella for the $10 super chat to say, "Reagan destroyed the middle class and education. There's a huge difference between standard of living and quality of life." Facts. Absolute fucking facts. W's in the chat for Just Devin for the $2 super chat to say, "I lived through Reagan. Reagan wrecked this country." He literally did. He has substantial, there's like direct through lines of all the massive negative impacts of Ronald Reagan. W's in the chat for Manders for the one cheer bit. Oh, dang. All right. Well, Manders, keep us updated what's happening with the hubby's interview, and we'll make sure that we send those positive vibes regardless of when it is. W's in the chat for Manders. Thank you so much for that one cheer bit. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen, guys. Let's get the likes up to 300,000 likes. Also, 1.6 thousand people hanging out. Look at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. hit that follow button, turn on notifications so you know when we go live. We go live all the time. And we're trying to make our way to 200,000 followers. We got 82 new followers on the stream. I'm positive that more than 82 people have not followed me. So please, please, please hit that follow button, turn on notifications, and only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates.
So years 2000, early 2000s.
Can you give me your source?
This is from, wait, hold on. I got a few pages open.
Mm-hmm.
This says, this Federal Reserve economic data. So FRED.
Okay, FRED. All right. What's the title?
It says, new one family houses sold, United States.
New one family homes for sale or houses sold?
Sold. Okay. New one family houses sold.
All right. And is this looking at the actual 1963 to May 2026?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, 1 second.
My only point in bringing this in is that,
okay.
So
all right, perfect. Give me a second here. So let's take a look at this. All right, what are we looking at?
So what this graph is showing is the most homes purchased and at different time periods, right?
Okay.
So in like early 2000s.
When were the most homes sold based off of this FRED information? New homes.
2005.
And how many were sold?
This is in
1,389.
Yeah. There we go. That shit's not loaded for me.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out what you think this data is proving.
I think this data is proving that again, this has to do with the post-capitalism. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to word it right. This just shows how that capitalism did not stagger the middle class because we had a peak in homes purchased. This would have never happened under any other system of being able to purchase.
We had a peak in new homes being bought.
Yes.
And that shows that capitalism works.
I mean, you're saying that there was a stagnant.
No, the claim that you're supposed to be combating is that the middle class was the strongest that it was prior to Ronald Reagan. You're looking for factual information that says that during this time after Ronald Reagan, prior to COVID, was the strongest period for the middle class. And just by saying there were new homes purchased, I mean, again, even at its peak, 1,300. 1 second. This is new one family houses sold. This has nothing to do with the medium average income, the increase in wealth. And also, this does not say that this is first time homeowners.
To do with the stable.
And did you hear the last part that I said? Did you hear what I said? What was the last point that I said?
No, say it again.
This has nothing to do with first time homeowners. This just means one family houses that were sold. This doesn't mean
I would imagine that would be built into that.
No. You don't need to imagine. You don't need to imagine. Yes, it can be, but it doesn't account for people. It doesn't account for people who were looking to purchase property that already had wealth and looking to build wealth. That doesn't speak to the middle class. So
that does what do you mean? It's a one family home.
Would you consider? Wait. Would you consider someone who can own multiple properties middle class?
Oh, no.
Okay, so what I'm saying is if you've already admitted that you don't consider people that can own multiple homes middle class.
No, actually I take that back because you can. So I recant that statement.
You're wrong.
You can be middle class and own multiple properties.
You're literally wrong.
Wow.
You're literally wrong.
How much money do you think it really takes to own multiple
because
properties?
middle class Americans don't have disposable income to purchase multiple homes. That's not how it works.
You're basing that off of today.
I still need you to give me something factual that disputes that the stronger period for the middle class was after Reaganomics, and it needs to be something that quantifies for the middle class, not you going to Fred and showing me the amount of new one-family houses sold each year. This has nothing to do with quantifying how the middle class was doing. Because again, this is not first-time homeowners.
Just as I thought. So most of those were
where are you getting this from?
They were new homeowners.
Where are you getting this from?
All from the same place, dude.
Where? Be specific. I'm looking at it. Tell me where. I'm on the page. Tell me where.
The most new homeowner homes.
Where are you looking at?
Bought by Americans.
No. Stop randomly saying shit.
I'm just reading it.
Stop. I don't need you to read it. I just need you to tell me if you're on the page. You obviously know that I'm on the page that you were on. Sent your request to come off mute. You know I'm on the page that you're on because we were just looking at the chart together. Yeah. Tell me where to go on the page of the information that you're getting, and then we can go from there. Tell me where you see that.
Yeah, so we started.
If you're on that page, why can't you tell me where you see that? Or did you go somewhere else to try to find some other information?
Oh no, it's in the same kind of.
So it's not on this page? So you just lied?
No, I didn't lie.
Okay, if you didn't lie, then tell me where it is on this page. As a matter of fact, I'll do you one better. Like I may be having a little bit of an issue navigating. All good. Do me a favor. I am putting this on the screen. We are on the page looking at the graph that you were just talking about. Tell me where to go on this page.
Hold on.
Or admit that you just lied.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then tell me where to go on this page.
Okay, so when you Google, the year.
Oh, so it's not on this page?
No, it is. So look,
so tell me where it is on this page. You saying when you Google, that's not answering where it is on this page.
No, I know, but look, it brings you back to the same kind of.
Okay, then tell me where it is on this page. You said it was on this page. You lied.
It says it in wording right here.
Then tell me where it is on this page.
Because it's part of it.
You fucking lied. You lied.
How am I lying? Like, I wish I could show it to you. Look.
No. It's not about showing it to me. I said, where are you on this page? I said, are you on this page? You said, yes, I'm on this page. I said, then tell me where it is. You lied.
Well, that's because what it's saying when you click on a link, it takes you right to that page.
Tell me where on this page you were just reading from.
It doesn't say it on the page. It says it on the link that goes to the page.
So it's not on this page. Then tell me where you went from this page, because you said you were on this page. Oh, okay. So you went to search something else.
No,
so
it's
you
the same
lied.
Search. That's how I got. No, it's the same search. That's how I got here.
Okay, so if it's the same search, then tell me what to click on this page.
Let me complete what I'm saying.
No, just tell me where to go on this page. Why do you have to give caveats?
When I search what I'm telling you, it brings you.
Why do you have to give caveats? Why can't you just tell me what you clicked on this page to get to what you were reading?
I'm trying to. You won't let me finish.
Okay, then just tell me. Stop trying to tell me what you searched.
Because that's what's important. How am I going to tell you what I'm?
No, it's literally in front of you. All you have to say is, "Hey, Santana, we were on this." No. You shut up, because you lied. and now you're trying to cover your ass. Because
No,
if you were
because you
on this,
noticed-
nope. Because if you were on this page, you could say, "Hey, Santana," you scroll down and then you click here, and then it'll take you to what I was reading. But you can't say that because you lied.
I didn't lie. It's
Okay,
right
then
in
do
front of
that.
me.
Then do it.
Type. I mean, are you going to go back and type in like what you need to type in? And
No,
and see what
because
I'm
we
seeing?
were just on this page, and you said it was on this page. You lied.
Of course not.
You lied.
That's all right, bro. You did
Just
the same
admit.
thing to
Just
Billy.
admit that you
That's why he
lied.
took
Just
you
admit
guys.
that you
did the
lied, and we
same
can move
exact
on.
thing. You got caught, and you don't want to actually do what it takes to.
How did
figure
I
it
get
out,
caught?
and you're just gonna
How did
keep
I get
fucking
caught?
obfuscating.
How did I get caught? I literally
Because
pulled
I'm
up
trying
your
to- I'm
source.
trying to explain to
I
you
no
exactly what I saw.
No. You're bullshitting. I pulled up your source and I put your source on the screen, and I said, "Tell me where you were going." As a matter of fact, don't even worry about it, sweetheart. I got you. I'll do you one better. Give me a second here.
The data's in the fucking graph.
Sure. Give me 1 second here.
Like, why can't you just search up what I searched?
Because you didn't say you searched shit. You said it was on that page.
I did. That's how I got the graph in the first place.
No. Stop talking. It's okay. We don't have to make speculations anymore. Just stop
Come
talking
on,
for a
bro.
second.
Like, I
Stop.
searched the graph.
You're literally running. Stop talking for a second. We don't have to do that.
Right.
You're literally running. Why do you keep coming off mute? You're literally running. Stop.
I'm
Just
not
stop.
running.
Okay, then stay on mute. Don't worry. I got you. All right. What are we looking at?
So what this graph is showing is the most
new homes purchased, increase in wealth, and also. Well, wait. Would you consider someone who can own
we can't that statement.
You're wrong.
You can't be middle class and own multiple properties.
You're literally wrong. First-time homeowners.
Yep, just as I thought. So tell me how.
Longer period for the middle class was after Reaganomics, and it needs to be something that quantifies for the middle class, not you going to Fred and showing me the amount of new one-family houses sold each year. This has nothing to do with quantifying how the middle class was doing. Because again, this is not first-time homeowners.
Yeah, just as I thought. So most of those were.
Where are you getting this from?
They were new homeowners.
Where are you getting this from?
All from the same place, dude.
Where? Be specific. I'm looking at it. Tell me where. I'm on the page. Tell me where.
The most new homeowner homes.
Where are you looking at?
Bought by Americans.
No. Stop randomly saying shit.
I'm just
you
reading
are. Stop. I don't need you to read it. I just need you to tell me if you're on the page. You obviously know that I'm on the page that you were on. Sent your request to come off mute. You know I'm on the page that you're on because we were just looking at the chart together. Yeah. Tell me where to go on the page of the information that you're getting, and then we can go from there. Tell me where you see that. If you're on that page, why can't you tell me where you see that? Or did you go somewhere else to try to find some other information?
Oh no, so it's in the same kind of.
So it's not on this page. So to be clear, when you started reading the thing off, you said it was in the same place. And then once I called you out and I said that it wasn't on there, you then started to switch and said, "Oh, it's in the same area." And I kept saying, "Tell me where it is on the page." You lied. It was not in the same place, and you had to go Google. I literally said, "Did you go Google something else to find it?" And you were saying, "No, it was right there." You literally lied. Anyway, go ahead, Kay.
Yeah. So I don't even need my 5 minutes. I just want to say this. Do you know why in 2005, 1.3 thousand homes were purchased?
I mean, it's more than that, but yeah.
Why? I'm asking you. Do you know why they were able to be purchased?
I mean, yeah, economy was doing really well.
No, predatory lending, which led to the bubble, which created 2008, which most of those loans and most of those homes were foreclosed upon. They let people get mortgages that they could not afford.
What happened in 2021 when almost the same thing happened?
Do you want to wait until 2027?
I'm asking you though. What the almost you do know almost the same exact thing happened in 22, like number wise.
What are can you
I'm
address
asking.
what I just said to you?
I'm asking.
And I asked you a question.
mean-
Can you directly, instead of pivoting to
It
something
wasn't
else?
a pivot.
That literally was a pivot.
Yes, it is.
Answer the question directly.
Ask the question again.
I said to you, do you know why these homes were able to be purchased in 2005?
Okay.
You said the economy was great. And I
Okay.
said no.
Was the
because
economy not
banks-
great in 2005?
No. Homes were being
How was it
purchased
not?
by
No, it's not.
predatory
Tell me how-
lending
She
behavior.
literally told you, but you're not listening because you keep speaking.
How?
Shut
How-
up
no,
and let
I
her
never-
finish.
never
She
got an
shut up. I just muted you. She literally told you, but you're not listening. And then when she started to tell you again, you then start speaking again. So if this
Can
is
I
going
ask
to
a
be the
question?
second, no. Let her finish and listen. You're not listening. Go ahead, Kay.
Why was the economy not great?
I said, shut up and listen. Go ahead, Kay.
You directly brought up that a sign of the economy was that all these homes could be sold in 2005.
1 second, Kay. One second. I'm tired of playing the mute game. That's me, the host, putting you on mute. Stop coming off of mute until she finishes. And
let her
then you
talk.
can
Shut
no,
up.
and then you can come off mute and speak.
Let her
I'm
talk.
telling you right now, I'm muting you. And if you
Let her
come
talk.
off mute again, I'm going to take it as a concession and just kick you because you don't have impulse control. I muted you. Stop coming off mute. Let her finish. Listen, and then come off of mute and respond. If you come off of mute prior to her responding, that's a concession. You are kicked and you lose. Okay.
I asked you the question, why so many homes? Because that's the indicator you brought up to say that the economy was good in 2005. I asked you how they were able to be purchased. You said because the economy was great. And I said, no, it was because of predatory lending behaviors that multiple large banks were sued for, and people got money back in millions because of those lending practices. It was not because the economy was booming at the time. It was because they were giving people loans who could not afford them. And when those interest rates changed, they could not afford their payments. And we went into 2007 and the housing market crash, where people lost all of their homes because of these lending practices. So this was not a good indicator of the, of capitalism actually working. This was a harmful way of of capitalism working because it was predatory, which it always is. It exploits people, and that's the point of the entire argument. Capitalism severely impacts the middle and lower class because we are constantly being exploited, while large corporations and millionaires and trillionaires and billionaires keep making more money. It is so weird to me that you guys come up here and are like, it's so great. I'm living check to check. I'm making it. This is the greatest place ever. And you don't even see past yourself. You're like, I'm okay, so everyone else must be. So this wasn't an indicator. And instead of you asking the next question about 2021, address what I said.
The floor is yours.
Okay. No, I do acknowledge that what you're saying about the loans, the predatory loans and stuff like that. I understand that was a part of it, but that wasn't all of it though. So you can't just sit here and say the sole reason for the increase to that extent was for predatory loans. I will grant that could be a chunk of it, but not majority. Beyond that, I still want the answer of how the economy wasn't great during that time, and then also, how was the economy not great during that time? I guess that's my question after what you're saying, and I acknowledge what you said, and I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying.
So I want to clarify one thing really quickly. We've been talking about the claim that you made that the middle class was stronger after Ronald Reagan than prior to Ronald Reagan. And just to verify, is the economy indicative of the people?
I would say that a sign of a good economy is the middle class thriving.
Okay, but is the economy, can the economy be good without the people being good?
No.
Yes,
I don't
it can.
know. So
yes, it can. Yes, it can. It can be propped up by multiple sectors, including the private sector, including stock market, including interest rate. It can be propped up by a multitude of things.
The private sector doesn't make a good economy, though.
I said it can be propped up by a multitude of things. I didn't say one thing. I said a multitude of things. It's not a one for one.
Yeah.
And
no,
looking
I understand
at again, the point that you're supposed to be proving is the middle class was stronger. And so I even told you the things that you could look for that would give the point of the middle class being stronger. But
and that was one of them.
No, it wasn't. I said the medium. I said the medium household income in proportion to CPI, the household income versus the cost of living. Those are the things that you would look at. W's in the chat for Lady Balls for the $2 super chat to say 2005 toxic predatory house loans, 2008 bubble crash facts. W's in the chat for Lord Tamayoshi for the $10 super chat to say the Great Recession was a severe and global economic downturn from 2007 to 2009 and was triggered primarily by the collapse of the U.S. housing market and was resulting financial crisis. K is up. Yes. K is literally up, and he's been missing the point this entire time because he can't substantiate the claim that he's made, which is a silly claim. And even more so, this is indicative how capitalism doesn't work for everyday people, because you can have a country such as the United States of America that has a booming GDP, that has a house market that is trending up, i.e. it doesn't have to be individuals buying homes, or it could be individuals who already have homes purchasing homes, and that's still not indicative of the life experience of everyday Americans. Like, that's the entire point. That's why we've been talking about capitalism. Like, he literally has been unable to say or do anything except crash the fuck out.
I never crashed out. What?
You've literally been crashing out.
I did not crash out.
I had to tell you that if you stop coming off mute and cutting people off, that it was going to be a concession. You were being a petulant child, and I had to give you the stipulation that you would be kicked, and that would be a concession if you didn't stop. That was the only thing that made you function like a normal person. Like, I had to literally threaten you in order for you to respond like a normal person.
To crash out.
Hey, how about that source, Bub? Because Fred doesn't prove it. How about that source? Give me a source. Give me the source that you're supposed to be giving.
I mean, Fred did prove it. He just didn't want to read it.
It didn't.
It did. You just didn't want to.
It didn't.
You refused to read what I was reading. You just wanted to try to
you
prove
couldn't
a point.
because you lied and you wouldn't admit that
didn't
you lied.
lie. I said I read this. It leads to the article. Let me show you what I'm reading. No. And then you fucking cried about it.
Keish, can I just interject for a second?
Come on, bro.
Listen. When he asked you where on the page it was, and you had already moved and gone back to the AI overview, and you were clicking the source, this is what I'm assuming you were doing. If I'm wrong, correct me. But you saw this AI overview, you went to Fred, you gave him the information, you went back to the AI overview, you went and checked either a different source or something else, and you were not on the same page.
No, it was the same source.
Okay, even if it was the same source, you weren't on the same page, correct?
No, it is on a different page.
Okay, so when he said where on the page is it, why instead
That's what I was
just
trying
saying,
to find. And then
all you had to say was, I'm further in the source, let me get the page number for you. But you didn't, because you come up to debate and you're more focused on being
no
right than being.
I feel like it could be a link, but there's no page number on this. So
okay, then you could say, but do you understand the point I'm making? I'm saying
I do. I tried to. I was trying to get. I was trying to.
Me off.
Dude, don't yell at me, you fucking bitch. What the fuck?
Oh, look at you, you fucking coward. You're literally a fucking coward. I said that's a concession. Shut the fuck up. That's a concession because you're such a little coward. You're such a little beta that you can't, you're so petulant that after getting dominated, the only thing that you could do is fucking crash out.
No,
but I really got it because here's the thing. He wants to keep over talking. Let him keep over talking. It doesn't matter. Listen, I asked you if I could interject and say something, and you can't control yourself. You literally have to keep starting sentences.
Yeah. No, I think someone made a great point. At this point, shut up. At this point, since you want to actually be Mr. Billy Badass, I sent you an invite to turn your camera on. Either one of two things, not one of three things are going to happen. Either you're going to turn your camera on, we can keep moving, or you can apologize sincerely to Kay, or you lose and you're gone. I don't care which one. Pick. We're waiting. Camera on, sincere apology, or fuck off, you lose. Which one?
The fuck does camera on have to?
I said camera on, sincerely apologize, or fuck off, you lose. Which one?
Not apologize.
Oh, okay. So then you fucking lose. Bye-bye. You fucking lose. Bye-bye. They love doing that shit while they're hiding. And that's the point. The point is you're such a coward that you hid and you said the shit that you said.
I would just wish once that if somebody comes up that they're just honest. If they would have told you straight away that they went like further into the source and they're trying to figure out how many pages it was away, just give them a second. What would you have done? You would have just been like, all right, let me know where you're at so I can see it. But it's always about the win, and it's not about being, honest or anything anymore. It's just wanting to win an argument, and it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't even sound like this kid was even old enough to, have known anything about 2005. Like,
yeah. All he had to do was say like, oh, actually, it's not on that page, but you go here and then there, or even you could say, well, I don't know if it's there, but I had to go back and look for it. Like, why lie and say that it was there when it wasn't there? Like, I don't understand what the point of that is.
It's just, it's one thing to have an opinion and say like, hey, we were doing okay. Yeah. In 2005, people did have a little bit more money in their pocket, which allowed them to put some down payments down. But then banks took advantage of that, took advantage of people. And then that went into all sorts of like them having to be bailed out, which is another way that we have to save the economy, which doesn't help any of us. It just helps those corporations, even though they say it helps us, but it doesn't. So it doesn't, none of it makes sense. Have a great day.
You as well.
Chat. Love you.
Dubs in the chat for K, guys. All right, hey guys, I am gonna send you guys on a raid over to Parker. Parker, get a job. 1.5 thousand people hanging out. Head over to Parker's page. Parker, get a job. I'm gonna head over. We're gonna do some co-hosting for a while. If you want to continue to see these debates, hit that follow button before you head out. If you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. And meet me over on Parker's page. We're going to do a raid. I will be back later this evening for some more sparring. But as of right now, we're going to go do some co-hosting. So if you are interested in more debates, head over to Parker's page. Parker, get a job. Parker, get a job. I'll be over there in just a moment. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. And with that being said, let's go.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat. Guys, we're heading over to Parker, get a job. Spam Santana Ray. Santana Ray, love from Santana. Head over to Parker, get a job. We're going to go do some co-hosting. I will see you guys over there in just a moment. So please, please, please don't meet me there. Beat me there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, and shares. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for being absolutely amazing. I will be back later for some more streaming and late nights. I'm sorry, Spar with Santana. I love you all. And as always, peace.